All right, the president just called a meeting to order. Thank you, Mr. Bradford, do an invocation.
Let us all stand. Let's bow our heads. Dear Father, we thank you today, oh God, Father, for allowing us to see another day. And Father, we just ask, oh God, that you continue to reign in our hearts, in our mind, and in our soul. And Father, we just ask, oh God, to pray for our elected officials, continue to keep them from any hurt, harm, or dangers in their families. And Father, we just ask, continue to give them the wisdom for them to lead your people. Father, we just pray for all our first responders, all our classes, and everything that's going on, God. Father, we just ask, oh God, just let love abroad expand, oh God, throughout this city, this county, this country, and this nation, oh God. And Father, we just pray for all the ones that may have lost loved ones during the past 2 weeks. Father, we just ask, oh God, that you continue to comfort them, comfort their hearts, oh God. And Father, we just ask right now, Lord God, that you continue to move and about throughout everything that we do in our daily lives. In the name of the Father, in the name of the Son, in the name of the Holy Spirit. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Let's do the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I can't get a motion for the approval of the May minutes.
Second.
It's been moved by Supervisor Hutchins and second by Supervisor Wilson. Are ready for a vote? All in favor say aye. Aye. Nays have the same right. Are ready for the approval of the docket?
So moved.
Second.
It's been motion by Supervisor Wilson and second by Supervisor Hutchins. Any discussion?
Yes, sir, Mr. President. One second.
The transaction number we found.
What you need?
Transaction number.
224 235. That's one of them.
What's the date?
6222. Oh, the date of it? The date?
Correct, yeah. That's
Oh,
it. 16.
5/16/2022. And I got some questions about Robin Lake. And on here, it says that we're gonna pay the engineering firm for Robin Lake. I need some clarification on that, Robbie Scott or somebody.
For the design of it, I guess that's what they charge for, that like the sloper on the design of, pipes. Yeah, state.
Are they the one who did the design?
Yes, they do the design, they send it to the state and all, and have the state approve it, and then the work is done. I guess that's what the part, if you don't clarify what it's for, and I can't see it. It says Robbins Lake, I guess Brant needs to be here before we approve it or whatever, to ask him what it's for.
Let me text you.
Yeah, it's saying right away in Robbins Lake. Approximately 14,000. Yep, defer it then. Mhm.
What you say?
Let's defer it then. What line is that?
Till the engineering firm get here?
Yep. think we deferred it anyway, quite frankly. Is that a problem?
Huh?
I think we deferred anyway.
Yeah, I would have.
And, my second one is,
Is that the claim, is that the docket claim you talked about? Okay.
yeah. The next one is, 22-4-273, 520. And on here it say, Natchez Adams Reparation. And it's, I guess, for a water bill. And it's $1,786. Was that a leak or, I mean,
It was not. We were a few months late getting the invoices from them, and so, I think that was for 2 or 3 months, I believe.
2 to 3 months?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
Did we refill the pool? Did we ever drain the pool, refill the pool at that time, or is that just?
Not that I'm aware of.
Yes,
They did?
Yes.
Okay.
Did they charge us sewer?
no. We drained it, we pumped it out through the ditch because we couldn't get the drain to work, and then we refill it through the.
Yeah, but the water bills typically, whatever the water is, the sewer is the same.
But we told them we couldn't use the drainage system because we couldn't drain it out the way it's supposed to go.
Oh, it's kind of like a leak when you fill a pool. We get, one time a year, you get to fill your pool for free. Well, you don't have to pay the sewage.
We tried to do that, we actually tried to get the fire department to do it, but, the city put us through a little hassle, so what we did was just ran it through the meter.
Okay.
So, board, are the city responsible for half of this?
I invoiced the city for one half of all the expenses. That's payroll, and all the utilities. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
All right, end of discussion. Good night. Get a vote.
No.
All right, nays have the same right.
Do we remove that first claim from the
Yeah.
docket?
Deferred.
Defer this, first claim.
Okay.
I need approval of the, monthly financial report, Adams County Sheriff Office, Chancery Clerk.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion by Supervisor Wilson, and a second by Supervisor Hutchins. I get a vote.
Alright.
It's been moved and second and voted. All right, we came down to, special presentation, Ms. Brooke Collier, elected official scholarship. I don't think she's here, so we'll let Supervisor.
Oh, yeah, she's here. She can't get that check. Come on, man.
Come on.
She's here.
Okay, this is elected official scholarship, certificate of scholarship in honor of your outstanding performance. We gladly present Ms. Caitlin Brooks, which you go by that, right? Brooke, okay, Collier, with the 2021-22 elected official scholarship. And here's your check, $500.
What school?
Thank you.
You go to AC,
Yes, sir.
ACCS.
Why, you want me to put this in here?
It's all yours. I don't know if you had anybody here that's gonna take a picture.
Hold the check.
Before y'all sit down, I just want to say that, we created an elected official scholarship some years ago. And, we give $500 to, one student from each school, AC, Cathedral, Natchez High, and now NEPA. So that's where this comes from.
All right, we'll move right along to, Mr. Jimmy Webb, Pool and Recreation update.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Get some clarification, we drained the pool, and I do want to thank the sheriff department, we drained it, we had them to bring 6 inmates over, they came over and cleaned it for us, and then we refilled it through the water system, so that's how you're gonna have a problem with the PLA. I can't go, we still got a problem on getting kids into the system. I got one girl who's come out of Woodford, she's in the nursing program They've been setting up appointments trying to get them in for Tuesday, but she can't, she gonna be in Natchez Wednesday doing some work. And I would like for her to go to Human Resource on Wednesday if we can to get her into the system.
Yeah, just make sure that you contact them, not you, but make sure they talk to each other and Crystal knows to be flexible to get those in there and get them signed up.
Okay, so that's what's part of the
We
problem.
didn't have to do it, we wouldn't make you do all that, but you know, federal law and all that makes us collect a bunch of information, so.
Okay, we got a problem. I got Waycaster gonna meet them over there at 10 today. When I leave here, we're gonna go over the heating system they put in. But I got to get with the county and sit down on Waycaster to look at the top where you come in through the gate there. We got some people that have been jumping in and breaking into our office. They have done it 3 times and we got to secure that. So you're gonna see that coming up real soon. They're jumping the fence and jamming the window over and slipping into the office. They squeezing in. So that's the 3rd time we've had it, so we got to get that stopped.
Question,
Okay.
Shane,
Yes, sir.
when is we gonna be on board with NOLA?
I can call and find out. I think the payment's been made, if I'm not mistaken, so now we're just in that time window. They told us it'd be 45 days from the time they receive payment, so I would suspect in the next couple of weeks. But I can get you an exact date.
So then we put the pool on there too?
Yeah.
We did, I think we put the
Yes.
pool on, we
We
had,
had a camera for the pool.
So since we have all these problems at the pool and people jump in and jump over the fence, and we don't want nobody to accidentally get in the water, could you make that the first one they do?
Yes, sir, that's, yes, sir.
Well, could you kind of explain to Mr. Webb what NOLA is?
It's a camera system that is monitored 24/7 out of New Orleans. The thing is, y'all are gonna have to figure out a location of where you are wanting the camera for whatever priority area it is that you're wanting monitored, since you only have one camera for that area. So we'll discuss that with Mr. Ware whenever that time.
Is that camera gonna have a 360 degree?
that's what I was just.
I don't know which one, if y'all order the stationary or the pan tilt zoom. I don't
If it
know.
doesn't, we better go with pan tilt zoom. Sound like we got some
Yeah.
issues there.
Well, I kind of like know what the system is, but we also got cameras at the pool. We got the person, we just can't figure out who it is. We had the police department come over and get a video of it, and at the same time, they looked into the crab shack at the same time, so it was on Facebook, we just couldn't figure out who it was.
Well, what I want Shane to say is this, with these NOLA cameras, when they actually doing it, you're gonna get a call and they gonna send somebody over there because they monitor them all the time. So what we ain't got nobody monitoring nothing, so we got the after effect. So with those cameras, when they actually doing whatever they doing, then they gonna call the sheriff's department or the police department, they gonna dispatch somebody over there immediately, and hopefully we'll catch whoever's doing it in the act of doing it. That's the difference between those cameras.
So that's saying don't do the top on it.
I'm not saying that, whatever you need
For protection,
to
you can do it.
make it safe over there and make sure that people don't get in, because we don't want nothing to happen to nobody. Somebody might wanna jump in the pool and can't swim. So, whatever you need, we gonna have to do it.
I think that's all I want to do, make sure we got kids in the system and say anything, any other questions for me?
Another question, Mr. Webb?
You got your minutes from the meeting.
On the minutes that we did, we approved to move one lady up after another week or two, and then we would actually bring another one on board. The one we actually put to bring on board, she had a full-time job at the home at United Mississippi Bank. She decided she wasn't gonna take a job, so I got another young lady who's a Head Start teacher that wants the job, and I've been contacting the board and waiting for them to hit me back. Once they hit me back, we'll plug her in. Because what we're doing now is we're open from Tuesday through Sunday, 1 through 6. And we've been having full pool. Starting tomorrow, we're gonna start open at 8 doing swim lessons. We got alarm coming in, and then we got our kids got 6 coming in tomorrow for swim lessons. So we got to have somebody there all day starting from 8 till 6 in the afternoon. So we're gonna have to break that up with somebody.
So that lady that y'all selected for the director is not gonna be the director?
Yes, but we put on a 30-day probation. She got another week or so.
Okay, but both the city and the county have to approve that decision but y'all have to ratify that decision.
So what we need to do now?
Which with the board, two boards, it needs to be presented to the city and the county for their approval.
I guess once they hire them, all we have to do is ratify it, right?
That's right, you have to, just like you do when Angie appoints the purchasing clerk and whoever else.
So at the end of this pay period, it should be ready to move up. So whenever this new pay period starts, that's when we decide that we would do it. So what I need to come back with to you all, or what I need to do?
Yeah, you take the minutes. Preferably the director would come and give a presentation to both the boards and then ask for their approval, but until that happens, you probably need to.
Well, she is.
Bring the minutes.
Right now, I'm doing all the legwork, so
Yeah, that's supposed to-
she will be the director most likely, so.
That's supposed to, take that off of you and let the director do all that.
That's probably our next board meeting because it'll be another week, she'll come to the director.
Right.
And just come back and have it ratified through our board and then we have to go to the city board, have it ratified also through them.
Okay. All right.
All right,
All right, thank you.
thank you. Well, next on,
Jimmy, I sent you an email, or trying to close up those books,
Okay.
so those receipts or whatever.
Talking about from the last draw. Okay. What we did was, Scott, because
You
right
don't have to
now,
explain that, I'm not trying to call you out or anything like that, we just
No.
need it for the books.
no, you made me think of something, because we had a volleyball to go down, we've been having playing volleyball, and I bought it out of my pocket. But at the time, ever since we had this board, we always had what people can sign on, sign off. We always have had a bank account. We never had any problem because Jack and Hinges would let sign our books or either Silas and Simmons. Now, we don't have that problem. We don't have that luxury now. So if something happened on the weekend, what would we do for an emergency?
Well, you should be able to buy enough stuff and not have emergencies or whatever, so you should have a budget set. Everything goes through purchasing and so forth. So
Some
the
things,
county didn't run out of, stuff to
but some things,
buy out,
some things you just can't anticipate.
everything
happening.
goes through purchasing. So
I understand that, but sometimes things just happen. Like I said, I bought
there's
the
no
money.
time it goes through purchasing. So that's what needs to do.
All right, thank you.
okay. Next on the agenda, we have Ms. Joyce, Mathis with white paper on property.
Good afternoon. I'm getting that. I was trying to remind Jenny that whatever he needs to do for the city of Nashville, he probably needs to do it by June 14th, because they may not have the last meeting until after the time that he may need to get somebody paid. That's what I was hearing. Okay, let me give these papers I have now. Put you in. Okay, thank you. Good morning, everybody. I did not speak, I apologize when I came in. I was hustling trying to get in here. Now, first of all, I want to identify the recipients of the piece of the material correspondence that I just passed around. So there should be copies there for Mr. Middleton, Mr. Wilson, Ms. Hutchins, Mr. Gray, Mr. Gaines, Ms. Brandy Lewis, and Ms. Scott. There should be one there for you. I think I had enough, I had 9, and there might be one extra. Okay? All right, now, we came before you all in December and presented an entire document. That's not the document that you have today. What we have done today is come before you to request funding after we've had several meetings. And let me make sure that I make this statement on the front end. The NAACP is not asking or requesting any money to be submitted to the NAACP. I'm gonna say that again. The NAACP is not requesting any funding to be submitted to the NAACP. We are not a 501c3. We cannot handle any funding. So this money does not come, what we're asking for, does not come to the NAACP. It stays with Adams County. It's gonna stay with every governing body that we present to. We're making recommendations on when you set your budget process, which I'm fully aware of how it goes. Done it 6 times at least. And that's why I'm trying to jump ahead. That's why I came in December, to get ahead of the January situation with the legislature. So I'm coming now to get ahead of the budgetary process because I know you're getting ready to go into it. You should be gathering information and getting ready to formulate a budget for 22-23, which unless it has changed since I was here, you gotta adopt by September the 30th. In order to be in a situation that you know what we're asking for, we're coming now. We'll come back when you have your budget hearing to see if you have done what we're asking about, okay? So be sure the elephant in the room, y'all like to use that, is where does the money go? It doesn't leave you all, it stays with you. We are not asking for any funding to come to us. And I want to make sure I say that. I said it 3 times so that it's not a question. We're not asking for any funding. All right, so the presentation is that the Natchez branch of the NAACP has worked diligently to gather significant data relating to citizens living in poverty in Natchez and Adams County, and to develop a working document of needs and observations. We feel, that's the Poverty Initiative Committee, that if adopted and are supported by Adams County Board of Supervisors, will begin the process of bringing much needed relief to your constituents. The initial document was presented to the Adams County Board of Supervisors in December of 2021. Since that initial presentation, the Natchez branch of the NAACP has hosted 3 meetings with various civic organizations, including the Adams County Board of Aldermen, the Natchez Adams School District Board of Trustees, the City of Natchez, of course, I mentioned, and the Board of Supervisors. Now, let me get to the particulars of this. The areas that we are asking to be, I hit the second sheet, funded. And of course, I'm going back to Alice in Mississippi, a financial hardship study, and the enduring challenge of concentrated poverty in America. And that is from the Metropolitan Policy Program at the Brookings Institution and the Federal Reserve System. And if you know from Alice, that was 2019. So we may need even more information from Alice after 2019. So the first thing that we're asking, well, we're identifying is, we're gonna make this quick, housing and blighted neighborhoods. And we're asking for the development of grant information, which includes guidelines as outlined by Alice in Mississippi. The Natchez branch of the NAACP is requesting that the Adams County Board of Supervisors budget $50,000, budget $50,000, not give, budget $50,000 or more to allow citizens who currently do not qualify for SNAP or affordable housing grants as outlined by the federal government because of their income. This would allow them to qualify for grants provided by the Adams County Board of Supervisors. The specifics of the grant will be outlined and determined by Alice in Mississippi, which is what was developed by the United Way, and their data, and Southwest Planning and Development, along with input from the Natchez branch of the NAACP. This would be a countywide project housed in Adams County and under the supervision of the current administrators of SNAP and affordable housing. The second thing we're asking for is that you lobby Congressman Benny Thompson for AmeriCorps designation for Adams County. He has already done a round. I've spoken with him, but we need you to also say something to him. With AmeriCorps designation, and the third thing that we're going to ask for, and these funds going into SNAP and affordable housing, you're going to have the help to do even more for people. Under education, we're asking that you identify the youth bill program as a major entity to be housed under workforce development. If it's under workforce development, if it is, I think the school district is we're going to ask them to be sure and push forth that youth bill grant. If they house it, then you got youth bill grant, AmeriCorps designation, and the money you got coming in to help people, okay? And the last thing, under recreation, we're asking that you lobby the legislature for funding to complete the enclosure of the Natchez Adams County Aquatic Center. I think that would give you, the school would be able to have classes in there year round. The swim teams would come, your money would follow. it's economic development. And the young people would be able, maybe he wouldn't be looking for somebody in Wilkinson County to be the person that handles that swimming facility, because people would be trained locally. It is our sincere hope that the Adams County Board of Supervisors will find avenues in the American Rescue Plan funding and the bipartisan infrastructure law to provide much needed relief to citizens of Natchez and Adams County. And that is our presentation. And again, the money stays with you under your direction. Any questions for us?
Yeah, and I'm glad you said the money stays with the county. It makes it a lot easier, as you know, trying to shift money around. The $50,000 is for, that would be for how that money be spent.
I don't know how you have your SNAP grant. So I gotta go on the way we did it, okay? There was an application process. The application was sent out. I had one with me a few days ago. I don't have it with me. And it said if you make so much money in a household for one person, so much money in a household for two, right on down the line. And it had specifications. We even talked about looking possibly, when we talked to Southwest, we got a lot of air property around here that you can't clean up. It won't qualify for grants. Maybe you could put something in there that says if you can show you pay taxes on property for the last 3 to 5 years, then you can get in there. It's some things that can be, you take the SNAP grant that's already in place, copy and paste it, and then elevate it to reflect the inflation level of the cost of living now, and the fact that people are living, you have that ALICE program right in front of you, or you had it at one time. Okay, and so put that corresponding equation in there to raise it. The last time I looked at it, one person was 20,000 plus. So you might want to go to 25,000, and then you can, that would be worked out by Southwest, and I'd like to give them some ideas, or the committee would like to give them some ideas, but they would actually create the document, because if it's not federal government, if it's your money, some money that you have, so for instance, this is relief money. If you've taken some infrastructure money or bipartisan, whatever you've done, and done one thing, and you have some money left in your budget that could be shifted to this. You see what I'm saying? So that's the way it could go. But no, it would be housed and handled the same way you do your SNAP and affordable housing grant. Does that answer? We try to make it as legally tight as we possibly could. And that's why we want to make sure you all understood, the newspaper understands, the street committee understands, and anybody else out there that we are not asked, we can't house any money. We don't want it, don't want to touch it, don't have, we just don't have auditors, we don't have any method of backing it up. So therefore, if we don't touch it, we don't have the responsibility for it. Right. And this way, everything can go through the government entity that we vote for.
Mr. President, Vice President, let me say this. In my tenure with the city, the SNAP program and the U-Bill program was two of the best programs we had over there with the city. And I helped bring that to the county. And through Southwest Planning and Lynette West Smith, she is the one pretty much in charge of that. And she will be in charge of how much money we decide that we want to put toward what Ms. Mathis is talking about. But the good part about it, we have 5 supervisor districts, and guess what? We all have people in our district that could use this help. And this is a mechanism where if they don't qualify, then they can get help from that money we got, the ARP money. And I think that's an awesome idea. And I know I talked to Supervisor Hutchins, and she was at the meeting, and there's a possibility that we might want to raise it up a little bit. And because we do have 5 supervisor districts, but we got to get with our county administrator. And it's just my thought, we got at least 3 years to spend money. If we put so much money each year then the people that gonna need help gonna dwindle down, and we probably not gonna be able to use all the money with the criteria that we set. So, everybody on this board, every supervisor in the district gonna benefit from what we're doing. We're not just gonna come in District 4 and do all the houses in District 4, because I know you got houses in every supervisor district. So, I just think we need to get on board with this plan that the NAACP brought before us and during our budget period. We haven't had a town hall meeting yet on the outcome, but when we do, I just think we need to get on board and figure out how much money we want to do, at least for these next 3 years, because if we do the right amount, then we can kind of like narrow all those houses, all those people that really, really need roofs on their houses or whatever the case may be, and they fit the criteria. We're not gonna decide who fit the criteria. That's why we're gonna let the net and Southwest Planning do it. So I just think we need to get on board.
And let me say this, I agree with Supervisor Gray, because right now, I'm having problems with people coming to me, stating about, they can't get the SNAP grant, and they don't qualify for it. And, they got roofs that need fixing, they got, boards and stuff that's torn from their homes and everything, and they just don't have the funding to do it. I've been working with them, trying to get, something done in our neighborhood watch meeting. As a matter of fact, we started raising money for those people to try to help them out. And we're just not getting enough at this time. But, I also had some churches to reach out to me to try to help in this situation. But if we do this, we can help them. We have hurricanes coming in, we have all kinds of things that happen. And these people don't have any insurance, and they can't afford the insurance. So with this, if we do this and we have the ARPA money, like Supervisor Gray said, the ARPA money is one of the funding that we can take it from. This is more money than we ever had, and that's been given to us. So we won't see this again. So I think we just need to take this money and put it to some use and try to help the community out.
Thank you, Supervisor Hutchins. But I would say they have been doing a great job of making the community aware, because they hold a meeting maybe once a month, once every couple months, and they bring everybody to the table. Well, they invite everybody to the table so it won't be a misunderstanding. And I think Ms. Matthews always make it clear that they are not doing anything under the NAACP. They are looking at the community, trying to address the poverty, and they are asking for help. So I missed one of the meetings. I try to be a part of it so we can stay abreast, but it is an opportunity because we always have the less fortunate in our community, and we as elected officials, we understand, and with the administrator, that it's a lot of things that the county have to do to keep it moving, but we also understand that we gotta make sure that we be able to help the folks of our community, and that's a part of it. I think an important part of the job, because as we address poverty issues, we address the issues of giving all our citizens a better quality of life. We make our neighborhood look better for tourism and everything else. But Ms. Matthews, I appreciate it, and we will definitely take it into your consideration, and we'll get back with y'all. We'll be able to have an answer for y'all on y'all next meeting when doing budget.
We appreciate that, and we're asking that the request be spread on your minutes. Whenever you have a town hall, we'll come before the town hall and regular, but we're jumping the process slowly because he knows I am. Want to thank the committee members that are here, Mr. Albert Jones, Mr. Jimmy Ware, Mr. Ben Tucker, Ms. Mildred Chapman, Mr. Lee Ford, Ms. Bear White, and Ms. Jackie Campbell, and any of the other members that are here. Thank you all. It has been a process, but it has been a wonderful process in academia. I'm just glad we're to this point. We feel like I love football, so we right at the finish line here. We want to go on over and make this, touchdown, and we don't want a 1 point. We want more than that. We want that conversion. So thank you so very much. Appreciate it.
it's out of the firefighter lawyer board, we was looking at, two of the things that they asked for is, about the grant that we can, do we wanna, need a motion to?
Got an emotion.
You don't have to have a motion, are we okay asking the lobbyists to move forward with looking at the workforce and the pool? Cause they're already lobbied for it, and we can just add that, and just in case, just we'll, let our minutes reflect.
Yeah, I could send a letter, have Warren or Les sign a letter, send it up to Congressman,
Congressman Thompson.
Thompson, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Have him ask for that designation. That doesn't cost us anything. We can go ahead and do that if y'all want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay.
Alright.
So I was gonna say Johnson.
On next, we have on the agenda to, is Kendra Sylvester, and,
What's that?
this,
Yes. This Sylvester here?
this,
You can make a close determination.
Hold on, man.
More.
What'd you say?
You can defer it if you want.
That needs to be deferred.
Miss,
They're gonna see if it qualifies for a close
You want-
determination, so they're gonna defer you.
so you can, basically what you're gonna do is give us the opportunity that you can have enough time to talk. We're gonna, have a session on, with the supervisor and or the administration. Alright. Alright, next is Mr. Scotty Carr.
Yeah.
You took care. Yeah, next we have Mr. Scott Carr, tour of the jail.
Yes, sir. My card started running. Thank you all for hearing me today. Appreciate that. I'm Scott McCoy, taproom manager over at Natchez Brewing Company, and I also host walking ghost tours here at Natchez on the side. And due to the COVID-19 restrictions and everything, we were not able to access the old jail at nighttime to bring people and check out the cells and everything. I used to do these tours with downtown Carla Brown, and currently now I'm not affiliated with her anymore. I'm just doing them on my own. And so I was able to go in the old jail back, before COVID. Then COVID changed everything. But here recently, I think, with the certain protocols, restrictions being lifted, just respectfully requesting if we can have access to the old jail for walking ghost tours at nighttime, if the sheriff's department would be so kind as to unlock it for us, and you'd be in and out 15 minutes, no food or drinks allowed inside. Just let them check it out, look at the old cells, take some pictures, and then we go right back out, and I'll let the sheriff's department know that we're done.
We need a motion for that?
I thought we already,
We've already had.
I know we opened up the tours, but I don't know that we opened it up for that.
Right, this would be at nighttime, would be after the buildings.
We did.
we yeah.
We did.
Well,
That's
I'm here,
not my problem, but I'm just saying, I'll never do it for that.
what I'm hearing is he used to work for
Yes, sir.
Carla Brown, and he used to do it then. Now you own your own, right?
Correct, yes, sir.
So he just came to get permission to do it because he got his own business now. Is that not correct?
That's exactly right.
So,
Yes, sir.
from what I'm hearing with the board, that we don't have a problem with, do we need a motion?
Go ahead and give it a
So moved.
Second.
Alright. It's been made a motion that, Mr. Carr can use the jail, use the old jail for a tour. It's been moved by Supervisor Gray and second by Supervisor Hutchins. Are we ready to vote? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? And same right. All right, thank you.
Thank you all very much.
All right, moving along, city government business, if any. In the city, government business. There's none. Moving right along to departmental reports.
Don't be shy. Robbie, you want to
Good
go?
morning.
Go ahead. Who am I talking with?
Big Burns, advertising, court room.
Good morning.
Trying to get permission to post for the clerk position.
All right, board, you heard the request.
So moved.
It's been moved by Supervisor Wilson. I get a second? Second by Supervisor Gray. And Ms. Brown Johnson be able to post for a deputy clerk.
Question,
Question?
is this an open position?
Yes.
Yes.
It is an open position. Are you ready to vote? All in favor say aye. All opposed, that same right. Motion carries. Unanimous. All right. Thank you, Ms. Johnson.
Thank you.
All right, next departmental report.
Just want to take a second. How y'all doing?
All right.
I have an employee that who's in line for a routine pay raise, Renard Banks. I submitted this to Crystal last week, so y'all may have a copy of it already.
I have it.
If you don't, I have one copy right here if y'all need it.
All right, it has, this is the youth detention, officer. Pay rate hourly will be $12.13. Annual rate, $25,230.
Is that a pay increase or is that a
Increase.
second?
That is a routine.
Is that same routine?
Yeah, we have a step pay system,
Right.
and he's due for that pay raise as a matter of routine.
So moved. So moved.
It's been moved by Supervisor Hudson, got a second by, Supervisor Wilson. Are ready to vote? All in favor say aye. Nays have the same right. Motion carries.
Thank y'all.
All right.
Hello, my name is Flavor. Oh,
Go ahead, please.
my name is Flavis Wiley. I'm with the, the Sixth Judicial Intervention Court. As previously stated, I'm back before you all because the Mississippi Association of Drug Court Professionals they have completed their conference details. And as the interim president has before him, we're trying to get approval to go to the Mississippi Association of Drug Court in Biloxi, Mississippi. They're having a conference at Imperial Palace on August the 24th through the 26th, but we are asking for travel on the 23rd also.
This is in your budget? This is already in the budget?
Yeah, it was already stated in the budget also, for state and national conference.
So moved.
Second.
All right.
How many days?
How many people you got?
Okay, I think it's, you have, I think I left Tim Blaylock, who is our defense attorney, off of here because I'm not for certain if he hasn't checked with his schedule yet. But I did include him in there on registration, but I can always take them off. But accordingly, answer your question, if I can get to my sheet, just one moment if you don't mind. I think it's 6 or 7. It's not the whole team this time. That's 6. I think mine is out of order. Okay. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And as I stated before, I don't know whether the
I'm just finding one, Brittany Fells, Bingham.
yes, she's the agent with MDOC. She's on our team.
Is there anybody else we got? Like, I think we got some youth goal ones.
Okay, the last one is a different issue in itself. So the last one I included in your packet with the separate pay clip. We're doing the MADC packet now.
That's a national.
Right, that's the last packet. I mean,
Okay,
that's the
here's-
last thing I want to discuss.
It's in here. Half of it. Okay, Judge Sanders,
Judge Sanders.
you play this.
Yes.
Donna,
Case manager,
Sharon, Robert Starks,
agent with MD, with our,
Esther Perry,
yes. Case
Brittany
manager,
Bells,
agent,
Kennedy, Pierce.
yes.
Those are the ones.
Those are,
Yeah, those,
Nashville or Biloxi?
that's Biloxi, that's Biloxi.
Because of that's it.
okay, they're all on here.
All right.
That's the Mississippi.
Yes.
Give me a second.
Give me a second.
She has, I did a motion, he
He
did a
did the
second.
motion,
Okay.
but you didn't hear.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the last page we
Hold on,
have,
hold on,
okay.
hold on. It's been moved by Supervisor Hutchins and second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carried, man. All right, I'm over.
The last thing I have on the agenda for my intervention report is Brittany Fells Bingham. We previously got approval for her to travel to the national, but, she didn't, I didn't include travel for her, but she has a ticket, and I'm asking to get approval for that travel, the airline ticket. I think it's $257.86. And then there's shuttle and parking at the airport. Shuttle from the airport when she gets to Nashville, and parking at the airport from Jackson. So that's just, I'm
Is
bringing.
it all included with your agent?
Yes, now I don't know I don't know at this particular time how much the shuttle costs from, the airport in Nashville to the hotel, to and from.
How much the plane ticket is?
Yeah, $257.86. Now, this plane ticket was given to me a week and a half ago, and it might have changed.
Did she book it?
No, she has not booked it. It might have changed.
Right, you can't get that approval until you get the.
Get the original.
Yeah, go
Till you get it booked.
Get it
Yeah,
booked.
you gotta get it booked.
We'll work at the next meeting.
Yeah,
Okay.
it had to be
Oh.
booked.
So if it was 200 and how much?
$57.86.
If it was that cheap, then why people just didn't fly? Instead of,
Now, I'm just going, when we did this, they said COVID. They didn't want to sit too close to people on the plane.
I got
And you know, you still have people, like myself, I'm still weary of people.
I got you.
Yes, okay. So I'll get what, the next step, I need to come before the next board meeting to get that.
Yes,
Tell her to book it, and then when is the next board meeting?
yes, ma'am.
When
Yes,
is-
ma'am. We have to have a book, so we'll have a call on it.
Third Monday?
Third Monday.
Okay. I thank you all, and you all have a blessed day.
All right. All right, next, department report. Wow. Right.
No, you good.
I'm just gonna give y'all an update on the airport. Got a couple little issues, but we'll address that. So we're in the middle of the construction is almost complete on the main runway of 1331, the rehab project, $4.8 million. There are some concerns or areas that we're gonna make the contractor go back and look at and correct. The main one is at the end of the runway. Looks like they're gonna have to come in and re-mill it and re-put it back down. It's a little too high for our runway lights, so that's one of the issues that we have. I've also applied with another grant with the FAA. That's gonna be about $1 million this year. I know you've seen an email that went out congratulating us for $495,000, but it's gonna be closer to $1 million when it's all said and done. The FAA has already processed it, pushed it up the chain of command, and we should be getting something in the near future. However, the airport has to come up with a 5% match on that for this coming up year. So that may be something that we ask for in the budget, but we may not. I'm gonna let the commission ask for all that. I'm just kind of giving you an update. We also have a possible new person wants to come in and do a flight school at the airport. They're looking for a building or a room that they can put a flight simulator. Said they got around 35 students at the moment right now. Each one of them students also includes, there are going to be fuel cells involved every time they fly. So if you do all that, it's going to help the airport tremendous. The only room that the airport has is an old operations building over by the lighting vault. But the water has been disconnected over into that building, and trying to get that water hooked back up to that building. I called Thorpe Sheet Metal, and they gave a price of $3,000, which I think is really, really high just to turn water on. So we're looking at other avenues of any other ways. I don't know if it's something that the county road department can look at, or I don't know if there's anything anybody could do to look at it. But if we could just figure a way to get that water hooked back up to that room. The airport was talking about remodeling that room for this flight school. And in saying that, we'd also like to do that room every so often for the voting in the future, because when we bring airlines into the airport, which will happen, we're going to have TSA involved and everything of that nature. Voting will be a big disturbance in the middle of the terminal. It already causes a little concern whenever people are flying in and voting are there, because people in the airplanes can't actually access the terminal. We got to bring them around or try to find a place for them. I'm not trying to relocate the voting at all. I mean, it can happen at the airport. I'm just trying to find a place for it to happen. That's my only issue that I have at the moment.
Anything you can do on that is helpful, because if we change spots, you have to send out notices and all that.
I'm not trying to change the spot. I'm just trying to give it a different location. I mean, same airport, but I mean, just right over to the right.
Does the water line have integrity? Why was it disconnected?
Well, it was disconnected before I got here 3.5 years ago, and it's never been hooked up. We haven't been using that room, so it's been vacant. So we're talking about going in there, putting new carpet, paint, remodeling everything. The water's just for a sink in the restroom there. I'm looking at how I could run water to it. It's attached to our fire department, our fire building over there. So just trying to figure out how to relocate. But when I called Thorpe Sheet Metal, they just to give me a quote on it, it's $3,000, and they said it was going to have to dig up a whole new line and rerun. But it's all through the center block building, so the wall lines are running through the middle, so you can't really see the lines. You'd almost have to break the walls in order to find out where it goes and where it hooks up. So it's an issue that I'm still working on, and maybe I'll figure it out. I don't know. But
Mr. President, I know this might sound crazy, but have you, I don't even know if they can do it, but maybe you can get with the mayor and see can the National Water Works go out there and insist on trying to do what you want done, and we pay the water work instead of paying whoever you said. It might be a little cheaper for us to try to see can the National Water Works go out there and assist us.
okay, I'll try any avenue I can come up with.
I'm gonna try to come by there and I'll look at it too, so I gotta do a lot of plumbing myself.
Yeah, one more thing.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, Greg.
With all this positive stuff we have going on at the airport. And, it was brought to my attention that, the broadband out there needs to be upgraded.
Yeah, so I'm in the process of trying to get some more pricing because apparently the price I got a year and a half, 2 years ago was off. It was $300,000 to get it hooked up 2 years ago. Now they're telling me it's going to be closer to $600,000 to get it hooked up. I've got some more people looking into it, actually trying to get permits through SWEPA and all that kind of stuff to actually give me a better price and come back. Also got one of my tenants, Guy Stout, who actually puts up cell phone towers and stuff at Baker, trying to see if he could actually go through something to get that done a lot cheaper. But I'm working on that now and trying to get that price as cheap as I can get it to come back to y'all.
Good. Only thing I wanna say, Mr. Nelson, I think you're doing a tremendous job out there at the airport. We got more activity and more stuff going on at the airport that I can remember. I don't know, but it seems like we got a lot of positive stuff going on, so continue to do what you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, can you give us an update on the airline carrier?
Yeah, so I met with Southern Airways Express. We talked with the MDA about the MDA grant, the 1.6 million that we are trying to get. The problem that we have with that grant right now is the operator of that grant has to be a 121 operation. That means with TSA and all that. Southern Airways is not considered a 121 operator. They do 121 operations, but they do it through American Airlines. So now we may have to go back and ask American Airlines to be the grant recipient and then hire Southern to do it. But it is moving. It is just a slow process. We still have the Small Communities Air Service Development Grant for $750,000. They're saying that they should have an answer on that grant before the end of the summer, but we're still got that applied for as well. And the worst comes to worst, the airline says we could use what we've already asked for on the $500,000 from the city and the county to come in. But I really don't want to do that. If I can avoid using that money, I'd rather not use y'all's money. I'd rather do it through a grant if I can do it. But when I have more information, I'll let y'all know.
Well, Mr. Nelson.
Can't let it go. If you're listening in online, please mute your phone.
Mr. Nelson, we appreciate the job that you're doing, and it was brought to my attention about the voting out there, the water, whatever we need to do. I'm pretty much sure the board will we will step in and you get an estimate on what we need to do, and we'll assist you in any kind of way. Supervisor Wilson said he's gonna come out, and we appreciate the job that you're doing.
Well, I appreciate y'all, and if there's anything I need or anything you need, just let me know.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for everything you do out there.
Thank you.
All right, next, department report.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm here to present the total cost for service for the month of May for 911. The Sheriff's Department had a total of 751. The Fire Department had a total of 29. And the Natchez Police Department had a total of 1,361.
All right.
Also, we want to do a follow-up on the building, see how far we got with the building that we submitted proposed budget for. You know, it's supposed to be presented to the city, so we just trying to see if we heard anything back on.
Did you all present?
Probably didn't hear that.
I'm sorry?
We want to follow up on the proposed budget for the building.
On the building, we submitted a budget over to the city. I asked them, I think we talked on Thursday or Friday, I sent it while we were on the phone and sent an email over to the city asking what their timeline is to address the budget and so forth. I don't think I've gotten a response back from them on that, but we'll follow up again. I mean, if the board can go buy a building on its own, if it certainly wants to, but But my understanding of the board was trying to do this together, especially when you look at the calls and all that stuff.
Scott, let me ask you a question. At some point, we're gonna have to build a new jail, right? So is this department gonna be part of the new jail or not?
Haven't seen any plans where this is included in the new jail, but, you know, so I'm not aware of that.
I'm just asking a question.
I want to say this to that. The problem with that, if we were to build a new jail, it's 5 to 6 years away. And they can't last that long, so we're gonna have to do something with them. Does it take that long to build a jail? Since I got that overnight. And that they can't stay down there in that basement.
I've been doing what I can to try to move it forward, so. It's a nice location, it's a great building, and it's in compliance with the Homeland Security guidelines. So,
Well, Scott, you just get, an update from the city as quick as you can by next meeting, we should, on myself.
Pushing them, nudging them.
We might need a sharper stick. If you're gonna push them.
Sharp or long.
They got a really good deal at the moment, so.
Yeah, they do have a speed limit.
I know where she was on the other book, it might not respond very quickly.
Because if you go by the call log here, 1,368 calls to the police department, and 700 to the sheriff's office.
When it comes to call logs, I mean, that certainly is one thing, but you gotta have manpower to address your calls no matter what. So there's certain calls that are fixed either way, so.
All right, well, instead we will, have, Scott get back with the city to get us an answer. And, excuse me, will you mute your phone? Will you please mute your phone?
What is Brandon?
Who is
Where is
that?
Brandon?
Brandon can be one.
I asked him to be with us.
Okay, I think, yeah.
And we will have, give us Scott, we'll have an answer for you on the next board meeting.
thank you.
All right, next departmental report.
Brad, you're not gonna start any trouble, are you?
Yep. That's why I got my blaze on today. No. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Brad Bradford, Adams County EMA Director. I got a couple of things this morning. Let everybody know we got hurricane season that started this year. So the prediction is we're looking at maybe 10 to 14 major storms. So hopefully none of them predict us. But keep in mind if they're anywhere in the Louisiana area, we will see an influx of evacuees. And what that entails is with the Board of Supervisors, you know, if they come to Adams County, we may have to open up some short-term shelters. So just to get in mind that we want to be able to help those individuals that's evacuating from those coastal areas. So we've put everything in place, getting most of our employees trained in shelter operations, so we'll be able to accommodate that when it happens.
Mr. President, when you say short term, what are you looking at?
We're looking at short term anywhere between 10 to 30 days. Short term.
Location.
Right. Because what it is once they come here, they're not going to be able to go back to their home until it's cleared.
Do you have a short term location site?
Yeah, it'll be the safe room.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be the safe room. Yeah, just safe room. Because we normally have other places like the schools and stuff, but I don't know the conditions that those are in right now with all of that. So yeah, it'll just be for a short term until they can find housing and we'll move them out.
Where are we at on getting showers over there?
I'm trying to get a grant through MEMA, but you know how it is with grants. I'm trying to look at the most possible and most way. I rushed out to Johnny trying to find some contracts to build one, but you know right now just everybody's tied up. I just can't get a builder. It'll be cheaper for us to build. I don't know who built the showers for the pool, that type showers with the brick building. I want to try to get a sturdy structure because we can order a shelter trailer, but I don't want to. With a trailer, you know, winds and stuff, they got to bolt it down and try to keep moving it, and you end up spending more money on it instead of just a sturdy foundation. So we're in the process of trying to find somebody to build us just a 4-head shower area. So we still working on that.
You know, like a quote or anything?
Well, we trying to find people to bid to get on to give us a quote. So they tied up right now. It's just, we just have to wait in line. So, but we work in the process. But in the meantime, like I said, if we have to, we'll use the gym showers. It's just a long way to travel. So but we still have a plan on that. Next, I want to request the board, I know we did talk about our 911 fees increase. So I want to ask the board, do we want to go ahead and approve that? Just increase a dollar amount for us to cell phones?
I thought we did that. We did
Well, so we need to do a resolution. Yeah, we need to do a resolution for it. I know we put it in the minutes, but I didn't have a resolution.
So,
Right, you heard the request, it's been moved by, and moved and second by Supervisor Hutchins and second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried unanimously.
Okay, the next thing is, I want to ask the board, I know we have a lot of people renting all our county buildings and county parks and stuff like that. I want to ask the board that we need to put something in place that if you're going to have anywhere between 250 hired individuals, to have them come to the EOC so we can get an emergency plan or help them with an emergency plan with everything going on so we know what's going on and not get blindsided with a special event and try to plan at the spur of the moment. Especially we're going to need to use county resources.
So moved.
second.
It's been moved by Supervisor Gray and second by Supervisor Hutchins that we put in place, how many people, Brad?
Anywhere 250 higher, you're going to have anywhere 250 people?
If you have an event with 250 people high in any of our parks or county buildings, correct? Okay. Any discussion? No discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Motion carried unanimously.
Okay. Next thing, and I talked to Andy, talked to Robbie here. The county, we're in need of a bucket truck. I know since we're gonna have our 2 individuals go get this training for the sirens, they're gonna have to have a vehicle, a bucket truck to be able to get up there and work on them. And I talked to Robbie, he can use it too, because we normally try to borrow the cities, but if they're using it, it's kind of old. So I think I talked to him, and I talked to Andy for the next fiscal year, if we can get Robbie to look at one, use one, to have one for the county. And, and we can just put it in our budget and try to get one. But we have on our own when we need it. They can use it, cut limbs if they have to. And it'll be used, and like I said, we got some lights in the safe that need to be changed. We gotta have, go rent some to try to get up there and change those bulbs out. So if we have a bucket truck, that'll be useful in the county inventory.
So, yes, that's, I think, that'd be a good idea. I've been recommending a bucket truck since I've been here, because it'll really be useful. In the county, in the city, even with, I know right now we have lights changed out. I think it's almost $200 an hour just to have them changed out. So I think it'll be a well worth the investment. But y'all already went through the necessary challenge with the road manager and the administrator. I think we'll get the ball moving and look at it on next budget season if it's okay with the rest of the supervisors.
You gotta make a request like anything else.
After they do the finals, they have to make the request.
Should look at it for first time.
Hey, look at it doing budget time, is that okay with everybody?
Yeah, I think we need.
Yeah, okay. All right, anything else?
All right. So Rob, just find one we can use. All right. Next, I want to request approval for Scott Irwin and Sam Miners. Their FY23 contract is coming up. Only change with addition to, they're gonna be working on the sirens, but they're not to exceed $1,000 per month if workload increases outside the statement of work agreement. It's the same one we do every year, but I just increased that because they're gonna be working on the sirens for us on that. I get Scott to look over the contracts for him.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir, Supervisor Graham.
just the contract.
Yeah.
We get our attorney a chance to read that contract before I make.
Yeah, it's the same as it's been for the last 3 years.
But I know you said that.
With only verge of changing it, it can go, they can't exceed $1,000 a month for his work. Right now, they get paid $600.
Sure.
Yeah, well, I'd like to, make a motion of approving the contract after review of, our attorney. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
It's been moved by Supervisor Gray,
Second.
second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion?
That is pending legal.
It is pending legal review.
Thank you.
All right. All in favor? Say aye. Any opposed? Motion carried unanimous.
Okay, my next request, I need to request travel to attend y'all supervisor conference in Biloxi from 13th to the 16th on behalf of the Mississippi 911 coordinators. They're gonna pay for everything. I just got a request, maybe travel down there.
So moved.
He's requesting travel. It's been moved by Supervisor Hutchins,
Second.
second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion?
I want to ask a question. You say, E911?
Mississippi coordinators, state, we got associated, they're paying for it. I'm part of their
Okay.
task force. Yeah, they're paying everybody. Right.
Yeah.
We got a booth down there, so I'll be running the booth. So y'all stop by the table.
About ready to vote? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried unanimous.
Okay, my last thing, there will be a benefit cookout for Foster Mound Volunteer Fire Chief, Mr. Johnny Mayberry, on Saturday, June 11th at the Broadmoor Park from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. So if anybody want to come out and patronize, I'll be on the grill.
What's the date?
June 11th from 11 to 4 p.m. Shouldn't hear from.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't have said you were gonna be on the grill, man. People might not even want to go out
If
there.
anybody has my food truck, I guarantee you.
If they had this food, everybody's gonna go. That's the thing, if they had this food, everybody's gonna go.
Yeah, so,
That's how they said it.
yeah, that's all I have. Putting any question for the board.
All right, thank you, Mr. Bradley.
I appreciate y'all.
Next.
Brent? Wake up.
Good morning, board.
Brandon.
My name is Brandon Gordon, and I wanted to talk to you about the time clocks today. And one other thing that I had. So, we currently got them. Where did it go? Sorry about that. So, we got them installed, and I just wanted to show you. We still have a couple more places to get them installed. So this is what the time clock looked like. And basically they will be able to use their thumbprint or any finger they choose to use to log into the time clock. And so right now it's not operational because we gotta get everybody enrolled. And I'm working with Ms. Tabitha on that. She said it's probably close to 200 people we gotta get enrolled, but what we're doing is we're gonna get everybody to come and get come to us, or we come to them to get their biometrics, and so that way they can get logged in. I logged in myself and it works great. So that is the update on time clocks. Also, one other thing, we need to order a few more time clocks for like the road department areas that's far away, and probably look at getting internet out there so they can clock in as well, because it won't work without the internet. If we want them to clock in as well, we have to take those steps as well.
Let me ask this question. Are they gonna all clock in at their locations, or are they gonna all come to the road department to clock in? How are they
No,
gonna,
they
gonna
clock in at
their
locations,
locations?
and that's what I say, I was gonna talk about that, I'm glad he brought it up. Yeah, they need to go to where our barns are, and that's where they work, that's where they need to show up and clock in. I mean, time they come somewhere else and clock in and get back, you looking at an hour downtime, then they won't leave early, and then if you do it at dinner, I don't know how it's gonna work. throughout the day, you just clocking in and clocking out, or you gonna clock out at dinner, clock back in. I don't know how it's gonna work, but I'm saying, if you do it somewhere else, you shot 3 hours a day or longer.
That's right.
Yeah.
So,
You know,
and that's
yeah,
another question,
You
like
know.
say for dinner, they could be on,
that's what I say.
you
It's-
know, one side Jackson
That's what
Point
I say.
anywhere, and how they gonna
Coming
get
in
back
3
to
hours
our
just to
Right.
block
And,
it
and
out.
that was, you know, some questions that I had about it, and I didn't know. I think me and Angie spoke about it before. Me and Angie, Ms. King had spoke about it, and she was unsure of how it was gonna work either. And that was just a few questions, but like I said, I guess that's something we need to get. Like he said, now we need internet at each location to
Yeah.
make it work.
Well, one thing, the timekeeper has access to clocking them in. So if they're somewhere else, they can call, when you see a timekeeper, to have them manually punch them in. Or put them
Okay,
into a fixed
so as of
time.
now, if we don't have internet, just have them call the office and
Right.
let the office clock them in as they do it, is what you're saying, and
Right.
clock them out.
She don't have to always do it right then all the time. Before payroll, when the timekeeper, when she review the time to make sure it's correct, she can fix whatever she needs to fix on in that time clock.
Yeah, your goal is to have an accurate reflection of how much time they actually work.
Okay.
You don't throw reason out the window.
Okay, yeah, with the road department, a lot of times they're off-site anyway, so they can't, if they're not gonna drive 20 miles, clock out for lunch, so
No, it shouldn't be.
we have to give
Call
them,
in,
we have
call
to
in.
give them a waiver, the road department waiver as far as the lunch break goes. I think we need to do that.
They gotta call in, someone blocks them out then, blocks them out.
And I will mention they do have a option to clock in, through phone or remotely if that's an option as well. By
For
calling.
the lunch hour, because if you clock in by phone from your bed, we're not making time clock be ineffective at that point.
I agree.
Let me say this. I don't think we the first county, got time clocks. So what we need to do is call one of them counties that got a road department and whatever the case may be and see how they doing it.
Okay.
And then we can kind of duplicate what they doing. I mean, it shouldn't be that hard because we ain't the first one to get time clocks.
Exactly.
So my suggestion is to call a couple of counties that have time clocks and see how they're doing it. Because the road department might not be clocking in. I don't know.
Okay.
We won't know until we call somebody.
All right, I'll check with them, see if they're clocking, how they're clocking in or if they're clocking in. The next thing is, dealing with the faxes. We finally made it up in the work queue. So they didn't give an exact date, but, they're beginning to work on the faxes, transferring the lines over from email to just a regular fax line. All right, was there any other questions?
No question. Thank you, Brandon.
I got a
We
question.
do have a question.
Remember when we was talking about the Wi-Fi out in the county and these people came before us and said that they could get a drone or something?
Yeah.
That we could test out in Kingston and Allen's Bottom. Do y'all think we need to get back in touch with them
I
and
think we do.
see how they work?
That's one of the things that we talked about at the meeting, the June 1st meeting over there at, with the county meeting with, Ms. Mathis over there, we brought that up. If y'all remember, we had a presentation, the guy came in, he did it from, on Zoom, during the COVID. He said he had some, internet broadband that he can put out. I remember that we was gonna put one at Adams Bottom and we was gonna also locate one in Kingston down there just to see how they pick up on that. And we were supposed to revisit it, and during COVID, it just got pushed down. And if y'all would like to, we can ask Paige to see if she's located in the minutes, and we get back in contact with those guys and have them to try that if that's something the board decides.
We're gonna have to do broadband out there and those places anyway, so we might as well go ahead and get someone to start looking at it.
Yeah.
I'll probably even add in out there by the airport.
And we also did the airport, we had somebody looking at it also, so we
We
can,
need to add in
we just need to add in.
Okay. And now, work with them on that. And
Work with them, and you also, we try to go through the minutes and find out the one who made the presentation. In the meanwhile, if okay with the board, you also can contact them after. We'll have different avenues.
Okay, sounds great.
That's fine with the board.
And you know, just like airport, we probably need to look at different locations because there is some locations in my area that does not have broadband, you know,
Yeah.
going on out toward Liberty Road further out, you know,
Yeah.
you can't get anything. So we just need to add some locations to it.
Okay, well, that's fine. I think what the, whole goal the first time was to get our furthest, two areas and see if it works there, then we was gonna actually, you could pick the site that we need throughout the county.
Yeah, they said they do a test run.
Yeah, they do a test one with our furthest areas, and then we'll, work throughout the county. All right, well, that's all you have, Brandon?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
That'll be all.
All right, can we move forward? Next, who's next? So we can
Thank you.
kind of get it moved forward.
I'll be quick, fast, and perfect.
All right.
So monthly report time, had 326 total requests, 225 transports. Our county time is 85%, the city time is 89%. We did see increases, and I will reflect to the right side of the report on that items of note. We've seen an increase in the hospitals, out of town transport stuff, and our time we're holding the wall at the hospital. We have a meeting later this week with the hospital CEO to discuss these two things to reduce those impacts. Right now in the community, we are up on staff. We're still needing 3 full-time paramedics. I got a $10,000 sign-on bonus for those paramedics in place. Our application process lit up like a Christmas tree when we did that, but we're weeding through people that are just applying to be a paramedic and they don't understand that there's licensure and certification that you have to have. You don't just start out being a paramedic, you have to get there. So because our staff has been working hard and they continue to serve the community really effective, I put into place, we're gonna be spending around $298,000 in retention bonuses for people that are already working right now, so that we keep them in the business, we keep them willing to work and keep them ready to respond to these emergencies. So looking forward and looking at what we currently have, we have plans for both and we're working to do that. I did kind of quick, so if y'all have any questions for me, fire them away and I'll do my best to answer, but I also wanted to introduce my air counterpart today to y'all too, as part of my report, so.
All right.
This is Miss Janie Clanton. She operates there, Air Evac 99 base station here in Natchez, right out behind Route 61.
How are y'all? Just a brief thing, we've been in this community for 11 years now, serving y'all. We do all the air transports. We transport from Adams County, Wilkinson County, Claiborne, Jefferson, Franklin, Mitt, Concordia Parish, and all the surrounding areas. So we're here. We come with a lot of guns. We have our helicopter, plus we have 6 more in the immediate vicinity that we can back each other up. And so just to give you a little brief over this last month, we got 132 requests for helicopter transports in this little area that I just told y'all about in those counties. So we do stay busy, but we're here to serve the community, serve your constituents, and if you need anything, just holler at us.
So you can add those 136 to that 1,532 that we had last month.
Yeah. Well, we definitely appreciate the job and the service that you give the community, and I know the community also understand that that's life and death situation when they call y'all, so we definitely appreciate it. Any other comment from the table? Appreciate it.
Mr. President, I know you don't have this number right off, but in all the people that you are seeing, are you running across many with COVID?
Now, to be honest with you, the numbers of that is dropping significantly. The catchphrase now, you see a lot of it being pushed from the federal government, and a lot of the Department of Health is endemic. It's no longer a pandemic. It's more of an endemic phase. We do still occasionally see little microbursts of it. It particularly is related if you have a big community event, you'll pick up just very small little bursts of it. And it subsides pretty quickly. They're dialing in the treatment for it. So the risk of it getting late into the treatment game and somebody being significantly sick versus they catch it quicker, they treat it correctly, and they reduce that time, and they prevent it from getting so nasty as we saw the first 2 years of it. So it occasionally happens, but it's almost non-existent. It's going away in that the treatment's right for it now, and we're quickly able to address it. So.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
That's it.
All right, thank you. Have a good one. All right, next.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Back in May, Mr. Russ came to y'all with an application, on my water, with an application for loss prevention for an exemption. That new building over there at Regions, y'all know where I'm talking about? I waited until Friday. It never came to our office. No application ever came to our office. So I waited till Friday, and I went and asked Paige for a copy of what she received in May. So I done a little digging and looking around and everything. We did not receive it by June 1st, our office. It has to be signed by the assessor. I talked to Mr. Hughes, and he's not heard from anybody on this exemption. So, but I've done a lot of digging. That's not a new business. Loss prevention was founded in 2009. All Star was incorporated in Florida back in '97. So it's not a new business, one. Well, one, it did not come to us. Two, it's not a new business. Three, they're calling it, under the law, under the 27101 that he was wanting to produce it under, it said that they could have an exemption if the Department of Revenue approved it with the minimum criteria that the department, the MDA put out. Minimum criteria. So I called and I wanted to see a copy of the minimum criteria. Sally Williams is who I talked to. They had no minimum criteria. It's just yeah or no. So I talked to Mr. Hughes, we're not gonna back this exemption. The 22 rendition that I received from these people added $490 for this year. The application for exemption, they have a total of $856,000. Why did I not get this on my rendition this year?
Who you asked?
Yeah, well, it's going on there now because I have a list of it from their application.
I think Bridget, we did approve, I think that.
Well, we can go back if they not gonna.
But see, back in 2018, they even have a reduction. Mike went behind my back and gave them a reduction in personal property.
Let's just set a meeting with me and we'll set up with loss prevention and go through it with them.
I have a whole bunch of stuff on them now.
Oh, that's good. Let's talk.
I mean, they just got $5 million from the government for the payroll protection.
All right, well, what we'll do is set up a meeting with the attorney, loss prevention, and you, who else you got?
See, it has not come to us at all. Larry has not signed off on it, so the resolution, it's not any good.
Well, we'll go through that. We'll meet and see what's required.
So.
Yeah, and I don't remember because I try to read it every time we do it, and I can't remember off the top of my head. I think the request has to be filed prior to June 1st, not approved
Prior, but we've never seen it.
I don't think that, but we'll go through it.
Okay.
Yeah, well.
I ultimately think the board, the supervisors grant an exemption. I don't know that the assessor grants an exemption.
Yeah, they have to sign off on it, on that one, on the 2731-101.
But we'll go through it and
okay.
Get it worked out.
Good deal.
All right, well, so we understand that you, Scott will get with you and y'all can give it all attention, y'all set up a meeting and you work it out, and then bring it back before the board.
Okay.
All right?
Who did?
If y'all don't get it worked out, thank you. Ned?
Good morning, board.
Robbie.
First of all, I have a 27-year man, Mr. Charlie Campbell, gonna retire. End of the month, June 30th is his last day. So, I would like
Is
to
his
bring-
letter of resignation?
I do have it. I don't have it with me. It is at my office. I will get it to, I'll get it back up here today.
Are you asking us to accept it?
Yes, I talked to him this morning and he said turn it in, so it's at the office. The next thing I have is a new hire.
We need a motion.
Motion to accept resignation and
Yeah.
advertise for position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, board, we need a motion to accept Mr. Campbell's, resignation as of June 30th, and also
Advertise for position.
advertise for his position.
So
It's been moved by Supervisor Hutchins, second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion?
Mr. President, what is his job title?
He was a foreman. You have it up there. I give that to you and the new hire. It's up there. Both of them, I put them up there this morning. You got it and a new hire. I'll fix them right up, Mr. Gaines. He was the foreman, if you read it.
He's a foreman, all right? Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Nays have the same right. Motion carried unanimous.
The next thing I have is a new hire, Christopher Allen. Do you have that, Mr. Gaines?
Yeah, Mr. Yes, I do.
You find Mr. Campbell too?
Go ahead and do five.
Go ahead. Yeah,
All
no.
right, the new hire is Christopher Allen. His hourly rate will be 18. After 6 months, he'll go to 19. His annual rate's 37,440. I would like for his effective date to be June the 8th, 2022, but I need to make sure Miss Crystal's got it sent over here too.
But it's been signed.
She's got it signed and sent. I just want to make sure because
So
He a mechanic or?
he can be a lead mechanic.
Can I get a-
Okay.
You heard the request of the road, manager, on the hiring of Christopher, Allen as a mechanic, pay rate $18 an hour, annual rate, $37,440. Motion has already been made by Supervisor Hutchins, and second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion?
Yes, sir, Mr. President. Mr. Dollar, he's a mechanic.
Lead mechanic. He's taking Mr. Tony Ballard's place. It took a year and a half to find a lead mechanic.
Yes, these mechanics, currently taught at, program at Colin, last 2 years.
I'm good.
All right?
All right, the next thing.
All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Motion carried unanimous.
Okay, next thing I have is McGee Road Bridge. I know we're having a hearing on the 20th of June, 2022, about turning that road back to a private road. Mr. Ford with IMS has been getting letters from the state wanting us to close the bridge. We have closed the bridge one time.
But he said on his recommendation as far as IMS, we need to make sure it is closed permanent before the hearing again. I just want to bring that before the board, because we're gonna have to do it again.
Which road, which bridge is that?
McGee Road Bridge.
Okay.
We are actually scheduled to have the hearing right now.
It's on the 20th is what the paper now said. What, suppose you thought it was 22, huh? Yeah. All right, well, if you schedule for the hearing,
Yeah, I got the proof of publication right now. It was advertised May 25th and May 27th, which is 2 weeks prior to today.
okay?
So I need a motion to open a public hearing.
Need a motion to open public hearing.
So moved.
Been motion by Supervisor Hutchins and second by Supervisor Wilson. All in favor, say aye.
Is anyone here to discuss the closure of McGee Road? Anyone here to discuss the closure of McGee Road? Anyone here to discuss the closure of McGee Road? No one's here. Robbie, tell us what's up. Why should the county close this road?
Well, you know, yourself and Mr. Gaines too has talked to the landowner that owns the property on both sides of the bridge, which is Ross McGee. And he was asking, would the board give it back to him, or since the bridge is out? And we've got a route around it on Artman Road, so the supervisor, myself, has discussed it.
If there's only one landowner that covers this road,
Correct.
and then there was a church that kind of used it too.
The church had used it, the access road through it, but he said that he would do repairs and open it to that on Sundays if needed. Isn't that correct, Mr. Gaines?
That's correct. He was here.
Is it
He
cut off?
was here, he came this morning, but he was like me, I thought it was on the 20th, and that's what he was thinking too, the reason he came. You know, today he asked me, wasn't it, and I told him, I thought it was the 20th, so,
He was here.
yeah. Do you need him here? I can call him if you need him.
So public necessity and convenience doesn't require this road.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we got access
Yeah, we got
around it, I mean, we got Auburn Road.
Yeah.
And
Auburn.
Church Hill. I mean, Emerald Mound.
Between those two roads. Yeah.
Emerald Mound.
Yep. All right, we can close the hearing of Abandon Road.
All right. Can I get a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Been moved by Supervisor Wilson and second by Supervisor Gray. Any discussion?
So you are abandoning this road?
Yeah.
But you supposed to close the public hearing to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we close. All right, can I get a vote?
Aye.
All right. Any opposed? Motion carried now.
So we don't have to do anything.
All right, we need a motion.
Yes, you.
Yes, so now we need a motion to abandon it. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Been moved by Supervisor Wilson. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Supervisor Hutchins. Any discussion? No discussion. Ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried now.
All right, next thing I have, I was talked to the board a few meetings ago about permits on boring and cutting the county roads and boring on county right-of-ways. And I've called other counties to get some things. I've got Mr. Slover, he's got some things in place, and I think he's ready to present that to the board. Is that correct, Mr. Slover?
Right.
Okay, on permits.
We got a draft ordinance, which is really just an amendment to the current ordinance that we had, including, we used to do it for road cutting and public utilities, we included boring into that. and I'll print that out and share that with y'all. There it is. Yeah. We'll spread that around.
Okay.
The new parts are underlined on it, but more or less, you gotta get permission before you do boring. You're responsible for maintaining your boring. Same thing with your road cutting. And I think we had a fee, I think we adopted the same fee that the city uses, is that
I
right?
think so. I think it was like $250 or.
The questions that we had is, you know, whether the engineer would be, they'd have to come out and take a look at it, make sure that the boring works, and then who's gonna be monitoring it. I know I suggested maybe the road crew.
Yeah, and we monitor it before, like making, decisions on the cuttings and where it goes back and all that. I'd rather for the engineers to have that say on, to make sure it's back in the state it was before they took action.
How long a period after they bore a road are they responsible for where they bored it?
How long are they responsible for it?
Yeah.
For lifetime. They want to put a year, I said lifetime. Just like I said, we're fighting on York Road right now. They got a bore and they pump full of fill in it and it's still seeping, by it, and still settling and falling in. So, it don't take long, the year's up.
Right. Okay, I was curious about that because I know there's some ongoing problems with that kind of thing.
It makes it a misdemeanor to do it without permission, and then if you break something, and you don't fix it within 7 days' notice, then you can be held on another misdemeanor.
So I need to be real careful about what I do out there.
I know you're always careful. I mean, y'all can take action on now or next meeting.
I just want to bring it up.
We want to take action on it. We had it ready.
I need your copy of that.
Yeah, we're not done. Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah, we get it.
So what we'll do is,
Okay, read it.
take it on the advisement, read it, take it on the advisement, we'll handle that next board meeting.
Thoughts, because it's just Robbie and I saying, well, and looking at what other counties have done, and, not every county, fits for everything else. So y'all put in your comments and we can change them, and if y'all want to take action on it, we can.
The next thing I have, we're gonna move forward from that, I guess, with the first to the next meeting. But the next thing I have, the storm cleanup, back roof cleaned up, on the county's part, and we got it all cleaned up. Our money is in final review with FEMA, so we should be getting some kind of answer pretty quick on our reimbursement on what we did in-house for us cleaned up. For the leaners and hangers, it still hadn't made it to the review process with FEMA. So we're still a ways out on that, but I did want to bring that up on our part as far as in-house where we cleaned up it is in the final review. Next thing I have, LA Pins, that was a road that wanted to be turned over to a public road. It was a private road. I looked at it, IMS looked at it, made some recommendations of some repairs. The repairs have been completed. I went out, looked at it, took pictures of it. On Adams County's part, I think it's fine. I asked Mr. Ford, would he go look at it after the meeting? And then we'll,
What's the name of this road?
LA Pins. And Roper, it's a concrete road and it was some settling on some curb and gutter and two sections in the road, and they cut them out and re-poured them and re-poured the curb and gutter and all. So, they have a contractor do that and they are complete with it. I have looked at it and like I said, he's gonna look at it today. So I guess next meeting, after he looks at it, we'll make our recommendation, to accept it as a public road if that's the board will.
So right now it's private?
Right now it's private.
It's only like, 300 feet?
Just not long at all. There's
So 20 feet
little
wide.
concrete road in there. I think it's 4 houses in, and they want to build 2 more houses in there. And
They were just wanting to make it a public road, so that was what it takes to make a public road. I brought it up, I think 2 or 3 months ago before the board.
Maybe 4.
Yeah.
Mr. President, my question is, do we have any flooding going on out there? On what we gonna accept?
No flooding. You talking about streets wide?
Right, because you know, some part of that area out there floods and the county accepted it a long time ago. Now, the people out there want
That's the road above that road. It's a pond that's silted in and it runs over and it floods that part. Not this part, but that part of this road.
So no flooding in this part?
No flooding in this.
Thank you.
Okay. Next thing I have, we were asked to clean 141 Tubman property. It was adjudicated property. If we did clean it up, you know, it takes our time to do it. We're looking at MEMA rates and what we do. It's not a big cost, but once we do it, it was $165.48 at what FEMA rates are on a mower, on a person cutting it and doing it. And, you know, it takes time for my guys going out to do it, but I guess we have to do those. But it was sent to Scott. That was the cost of Tubman Circle, cleaning the lot.
I went by there and it looked good. I picked up some trash, table and stuff that was under the carport and threw it back in my truck and hauled it off. What are we gonna do with that house? I mean, they can't be rebuilt. It has to be demolished. Is that gonna be on us, or what are we gonna do about that?
Who owns it?
I don't know, but somebody set it on fire. Been abandoned for a long time. I don't know who owns that property. You, Scott?
I think we can take a look at,
What's that?
always try to work with it.
141 Tubman.
We can remove the dilapidated buildings if they're a risk for public health and safety, and you adjudicate the cost plus penalty back on the landowner. That's something that's within the board's discretion after the advertising. In this particular case, you got a cost, and you can do a cost plus you can do damages. It's the cost to clean up or $1,500, whichever one.
But we way off that. How we done the MEMA rates, it was $165.48.
It's up to the audit. You can double the cost, or you can do a penalty of $1,500, or no penalty at all.
A truck, a line, 0 turn, and a weed eater, and 2 guys to do it. That's what it ended up costing.
Well, I think there's another one at 162 Tubman Circle that I think it's in foreclosure or something. Normally, the people in the foreclosure companies take care of cutting grass there, but when I ride back out there, I'll look at that because there's a couple of places out there that need to.
It's the Elizabeth Knight estate.
I'm on 141. Okay, let me ask you something. Usually when we clean those property ups and everything, don't we usually just go ahead, clean it up, tear it down, and then put it on a tax lien against their property, or send them a bill to pay for it? Because I know one time we cleaned up a property and everything, and we sent them a bill, and they went on and paid for it. Instead of they putting it on a lien, they said they would pay for it. So can you look at that?
I would look at it, have to go back and refresh my memory on it. Typically, we follow statute. I'll say this, typically 99% of the time, the landowners and us get together and we figure out a plan for them to get it cleaned up, and they do it. No one wants to do it. It's these, I don't know, we've only done it a half dozen times I can think of, Robbie. Really, we don't do them that often. If we have to do them, then the next meeting, Robbie brings the cost, and we assess it on the tax roll along with the penalty. So that's what we've done on those few times that we do it. And usually we'll work with the landowners to get it done.
So nobody has reached out to this landowner yet?
CoreLogic has been paying the taxes on it.
So
21s have not been paid.
what I would suggest, I mean, before we do any kind of taking doing everything up to whoever pays the property tax or the owner, we need to reach out to them first and give them the opportunity to fix it, the tax to clean it up before we do anything else.
And the notices they get, the address itself gets a letter. The owner on the tax roll gets a letter. There's a sign that gets stuck in the yard, and then there's a sign on the courthouse that does it. So it's all sorts of opportunities for them to do it.
And that's what I say.
It's probably not gone out there and said, hey, what can we do to get it cleaned up?
We got one on Myrtle that we've done the last, it's going on 3 years. I mean, it's just sometimes it doesn't matter. It's just out there and we have.
It's few and far between.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, the next thing I
Well,
have,
you had that cost, do y'all want, we need to resolve to assess that cost to the.
I do have the cost here. The cost, like I said, it was $165.48. That's what we said to clean
Do
that
that plus
cost.
penalty, or you can just do the cost? Yeah.
Just do the cost, right?
Yeah.
I would just go with the cost.
Bring that cost to
Okay.
Paige, and we need a resolution, resolving it.
I need a motion resolving that debt of $165.48 for the cleaning of 141 Tillman Circle.
Is it 142
Or 141, 142. Which one is it?
I got
141?
141.
That's what I got. 141 Tillman.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Supervisor Wilson, second by Supervisor Hudson. Any discussion? If none, we ready to vote. All in favor say aye. Nays have the same right. Motion passed unanimously.
Okay, next thing I have, we started on, Carthage Point Road last Tuesday, working on that road. We meet with the landowner that has let us get material in the past, last Tuesday. This will be our last year, guys. This is it. He's got it enrolled in, CRP or some other program. He did let me know this is it. We can get material this year. We did start last Tuesday. It is an access road through his property around that we've used for the way before my time that we've been doing it. It's getting leery of that, but like I said, he said he'd continue till we can figure out something else. But if he don't, the landowners beyond him will not get through until we do get that hole, the hole fixed every year that we're having a problem. I don't know, like I said, if the Corps or whatever, we used to go on that high water tour and all and talk to them and see. They hadn't had that in the last few years that we could go on to show them pictures and talk to them, because this is every year. Just from when I started, a rental dozer was $3,800. It's $9,000 today to rent a dozer for 30 days. That's how much it's increased in, 12 years of doing it. And like I said, we're spending anywhere from $50,000 to $80,000 a year on that road, just as a blowout, and that's no materials. So guys,
That's not grading the road from there on. That's just the blowout.
That's just fixing to the blowout, and then we grade the road throughout the year. This is just this time of year. After the high water goes down, that's what we spend. This is not grading the road throughout the year. Any rock, gravel, maintenance, anything we do to it, this is just what we spend after the high water goes down. But I just want to bring it forward that we are going to have a better plan next year, or figure out what we can do. And I wish the Corps or somebody could get involved. The Refuge, I know they own property beyond this. I don't know who else we need to talk to.
Not so eager to help.
Yeah, well, it seems like nobody.
I've been saying this for 2 years now, or 2.5 years. We are going to have to do something about that. Turn that road over to private citizens or whatever. County cannot pay that kind of money to fix that road, and it services not one single household. Not one. And I know there's people that own property down there. If I own property, I'd be upset about it. I don't have an own property down there, but I do have oil wells down there, but they're before the blowout. But, geez, the county, $100,000 will grade a mile or blacktop almost a mile of road. We got all these roads, and we're worried about a sand road. And I feel the same way about the one at Jackson Point too. I think we're just burning money going down to Jackson Point all the time. And there's no citizens live down there either.
And discuss it, because like I said, next year is really gonna be a big talk to the board.
Yes, sir.
That's something we don't have to.
I know that's Wes's district, but, and he's not here to, I don't even know if he's still online, and he understands that part of it too. Somebody's gotta pay up. Either the St. Gadsden Creek Wildlife Refuge or Corps Engineers gonna have to help. The county cannot keep funding that expense.
And that could be another thing we start talking with the feds with, our delegation, see if there's something we can figure out on that too. But if you man the road, and sometimes you need to, you just did one, you open that yourself up to inverse condemnation suits at the takings, unfortunately, under Mississippi law.
There's other ways in there. I mean, no.
Yeah, if it doesn't cause any decrease in the value of your land, you're absolutely right, but if it causes a decrease in land, and
There's no farmland back there, all you got is hunting land back there.
Yeah, well,
unfortunately, that's an expensive endeavor.
We may need it, we may need to look at court too.
Yeah,
To see what they help. Because I know one time they was here and they helped on, Jackson Point, so we may need to reach out to the court.
all right, so we need to start looking at avenues, thinking about Carter Point Road, and if you would, Mr. Dawes, just for the board, I mean, when you keeping up this year, probably get an estimate on, could keep a count on how many loads you haul and what you have to do. So over the period of time, once you finish, you can give us a total cost. You say it costs 80 with using material that's already there, but having to buy material, could you give us a cost? Approximately. I mean, I know you don't have to do it now. If you already.
I give you an idea. We worked 3 days last week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and it rained about 3:30 down there, so it knocked us off just a little over Thursday. We are getting a little sand right before the blowout up there to help us get to the blowout, because it's blowed out there. We've hauled over 50 loads just to get to the blowout. So we had started at the blowout. And then, like I said, it's a lot of wear and tear on those trucks. That sand eats those, if you don't keep the air filters blowed out every day, you're gonna put motors in the trucks. So the mechanics are busy on that. Then we got other breakdowns with mowers and things. But like I said, it's something we gotta deal with, and it's just some thought we need to put into it before.
Where are we gonna get the material at if we can't get it off of,
I don't know down there. I'm getting a little bit up front, off of a farmer up front, so letting us get a little bit there to get to the.
we have to buy it and haul it from somewhere else.
We have to buy dirt. I mean, you gonna pay.
Yeah.
It's gonna be 300,000 to fix it. And I'm pretty sure county can't eat that cost.
All right, well, that's good.
All right, and then just to talk about hot mix just a minute, I'll put up.
Excuse me, hold on, President Milton, you had something you want to say?
Hey, yeah, look, in our conversation earlier this week, I did reach out to another landowner, and we talked about finding some business with them in the coming weeks to see the possibility of us being able to get material from them in the future, or possibly, another avenue. So I have not put back to Robbie for our conversation. Robbie and I will be getting with another landowner in a couple of weeks to revisit that. And I do agree, I think the wildlife refuge would be a good access point. I don't know how much school is gonna help me, but that's an issue up and down the entire river. That's all I'm saying.
All right, thank you, Mr. President. All right.
All right, next thing, I'll just, put some cost to it. We talking about maybe some hot mix and some striping in the future or whatever. Hot mix has gone down just a little bit, and I don't know why. It shouldn't have, but anyhow, to do both outer stripe, 2 white lines, double center lines, yellow and all, and the hot mix about a mile, it's about $130 a mile. So y'all, you have that on your mind, just to throw that out there. That's just a number that we get ready to do some hot mix and striping. That that's a cost.
Let me ask you this question too, Robbie. When we talk about striping, can we get MDOT to do some of the striping also?
MDOT did do Morgantown Road, what part they did on Morgantown. Then state aid just did MLK, Foster Mountain Steam Plant, which looks really well. I think they're working on some other areas now, some striping projects, and like I said, those areas turned out real nice. But yes, we can reach out to MDOT, but I don't know, what they'll do, but I do know they did Morgantown Road.
Right, I know.
So.
Yeah.
So you said paving, so $130,000.
That's striping too, that's striping.
Paving and striping,
If it needs striping.
$130,000 a mile.
Yes, if it needs striping. Some areas that we'll pave will not need striping, but some.
So that section of Lower Woodville Road that West and I want to do.
It'll need striping.
Was that a mile and a half, 2 miles?
It's about 2 miles, possibly a little over now. I've looked at it again, it's getting worse. It's gotten worse in the last 3 years. That we probably gonna have to do a little more there.
Wes and I agreed to split the cost between our districts on.
But yeah, that area's got a little bigger, so I'm thinking it's over 2 miles.
We need to do all we can while we're there.
And Robert, we also, I'm gonna ask you for that, did you ever get the price? Not on the, you know, what we did down in the meadows down there, what you did for David Carter.
I do have some sheet, but now they're old prices, I will get it. You talking about micro seal?
I did, updated price on
micro seal. I have it, but it's old cost, yeah. It's micro, this is not chip seal, this is not.
You don't want any
Yeah.
chip seal, I need micro seal.
It's not green micro seal, is it?
Not green, it's gonna be black like that.
Because it'll wash off with the rain.
Yeah.
If you get anything that's green. We gotta have oil-based products.
Correct.
Yeah.
That was for you, Vicki.
The other thing I have, NRCS has sent a sheet here to get signed today. They've added a site to the last 3 sites that they approved. They add 24 Lincoln Heights to it. The other 3 sites were 2 on, but one's gonna be creek stabilization on Low Water Bridge, and the other 2's gonna be on Magnolia Bluff Road. So that's, they added a site, so it'll be 4 sites to this group of EWPs that have been approved by them. And we'll get it signed.
Is this an application for new EWPs?
Yes, it's an application to get for 24. We've already signed to have the first 3 that they approved, but then they added this to it, so they resent it, and they want to get it signed again for 4 sites. For the 2 on Magnolia Bluff, 1 on Low Water Bridge, it's creek stabilization, and they want to add 24 Lincoln Heights.
And who's supposed to fill out the application?
In the past, we'll talk about that. I know that's you've been emailing. I know you did. In the past, the engineers, NRCS, once we went out and looked at it, assessed it, took pictures, submitted it to NRCS, they came, they approved it, then the engineers and NRCS sent them, and Joe Murray took care of it because it was the money part of that had to be done, the match, the 20% match or whatever. So that's where Joe's part fell in. But as far as us going out, taking pictures and doing, that's what we do, and then go out and do the final inspections and things like that. That's what's in the past. But like I said, the engineers are involved too. I mean, it just didn't fall in Joe's lap. It was something that he signed, to get it signed, to get the money, and then he was over the match part of it, because we don't deal with money in the road department.
Yeah, the match request in the past was the engineer that was doing it.
That's what I say, engineer, and Joe was on top of it, because you could ask him how much we put here, how much we put there. I mean, he would know. You know what I'm saying? But the engineer was involved.
So you saying that this is
This is an additional site that they added to the 3 that had already been signed and already been through. They come back now wanting to add a site to those 3 to make it 4 sites.
No, I'm just saying, do you think, you said that the county administrator is supposed to be a part of it?
County administrator and county engineers.
The money part is what, the match part is correct. That's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to, I'm just saying the match. You need to know the match is what, and Joe did.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So has IMS seen the application that you got?
I don't. Have you seen it?
I'm trying to be hard. I'm trying to get.
Yeah, I understand. We need to get it done. Scott was asking me last week about it. Where did it all fall? How did it fall? Because the road department was always left out. I mean, we never knew anything. So we're trying to get more involved in it now, because these first groups that we're working on now, I got a lot to discuss about that it has really got complicated.
Right.
And they took from this group to that group, moved 1 from here, 1 from there. We got a site now that we discussed, and I know I'm moving on, but it's that Oak Ridge site. I went out, Mr. Slover was out, Ricky was out, Warren was out, we were all there. Now they don't even know where that site's at. Well, that site left there when we were there in the meeting, and the contractor was there, that the contractor done the first part. We were gonna resubmit this other part because it was blowing out the part that they had done, that contractor was gonna continue, and do that site where it wouldn't be, he did this part, he was not responsible, so that contractor agreed to do it once we got the cost and got it approved, and it's approved. And now we're sitting here hunting for it. So I've been to JKS because they was engineers and they were the ones there, and I've talked to Mr. Marlowe and Brent both about it and refreshed their memory of what took place there. And now we need to try to figure out and get that site back on board to get that problem fixed. So like I said, when we took on 24 projects at one time, we took on a lot. And like I said, now we're getting things from Norman that there's no more extensions after this.
Yeah.
Like I said, and I'm gonna read off what I had. JKS had Johnson Circle, 26 Pine View, Cemetery Road number 13, which that's group 1 and that's complete. Okay. Group 3 is Deerfield, Providence, Kutsu, and Old Meadow. All right, and then you got down here, you got Oak Ridge. Not even sure where it's at in the mix.
There's on 3.
So,
That's there, yeah, then like I said, IMS has got South Palestine, which the completion date of this one is 9/25/22. Okay, on South Palestine. Then you got 103 West Area, 16th Prince Edition, Equipment Road number 10, Liberty Road 2, Lansdowne Park number 6. That's called Group 4. Okay. Then we done under emergency MLK 789, and that's complete. All right, we're waiting on approval of the increase of $165,904.75 requested by IMS, and it should be signed as what we got here on 6/6 by the Board of Supervisors to get that. All right, then JKS put in an increase of $286,755 request by JKS, and we're waiting on the approval of that. All right, and then we got an extension for those, but we're waiting on that to 11/17/22. It will not be any more extensions. They say this is it. This has been going on way too long. So it's a lot of confusion, and me and Meg have spent over a week dealing with this. Mr. Gaines has been by there. We have sat down, and it takes a lot of time that we're spending to get it done. And I don't know, I still think we still got some questions that need to be answered, and I don't know where to bring it. All right, like that Oak Ridge, where, I thought you and Mr. Marlowe, so where are we at with that?
We'll have to go back in and get a cost estimate on that during the time that we met down there, that, it's either 74 or 84 inch culvert through the road, the bottom's rusted out and the
county was gonna buy the culvert.
We're gonna buy the culvert, but we don't have, I don't think we've got a good survey on that side. We're gonna have to go back down in there and resurvey all that to make sure we can get the culvert in there and design it.
Jason, you were there with your dad that day. Do you remember the conversation on it? I mean, I'm just,
It's been made, it's been so long ago now.
that's what I'm saying. I mean, y'all were gonna do this project because we didn't want somebody else to do it, and y'all said it blew yours out, and y'all interfered with the others, so before we left, it was gonna be something y'all were gonna do, but we had to get a cost estimate through the engineers, and like I said, it's just fell through the cracks, and
Yeah, because when you get two contractors conflicting in the.
that's correct, and that's where we made that decision that day.
Two then, so.
So that's a site that's got to be somehow figured out.
Robert, hold up a second. Is this the hunt?
this is the hunt.
Man, I thought this site was already finished.
No,
No, it had
indeed.
never been started.
The day we left there, it's been gone since that day. I mean, that's what I'm telling you. It's not even listed anywhere. Me and Meg come up and found it back in the paperwork.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's been a job.
When it comes to 2 and 3, we talked about that already.
Yes, that's what I say, I got them here. IMS, you asked for the 165,904.75. That's correct. All right, and it's been approved, it's gonna be signed.
That's on the next day, get it signed today. That's the same document I tried to get signed during the last board meeting.
That's what I'm saying. So you gonna get that signed today. Then your request at 286,755,
I think they're waiting on that to get signed.
they wait on his to sign before they approve yours. Okay. And then the completion dates are 11/17/22 on all sites except
except for the.
South Palestine, which it has to be completed by 9/25.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so we all, I guess, getting on the same page of this now. And my next question is, I was told that if we'll go ahead and get these projects started or awarded or whatever, that Camo didn't want any fuel increase or whatever, is that correct?
Camo's here and Hope is here, the two bidders on 2 and 3. I talked to them both. The bid was back, as y'all recall, I think December is when it was first published. Since then, fuel prices went up astronomically amount. Their bid prices, I think, were only good for 60 days. That means we could have forced them to accept it up until 60 days. After that point, they don't have to honor that bid anymore. Both Hope and Camo have said that they're willing to do the project, but they need a fuel increase. That's anything that's not correct? Got Blaze and for Camo?
I want to say this, I was in a meeting last week with JKS with Mr. Marlowe and Brent, and it was told to me in the meeting that Camo didn't want to increase, we'd go ahead and let them start.
We'll do, what we would do on
Is that
this
correct?
would be well, we'll go ahead, we'll take on Group 2, and if we're awarded Group 3 as well, we won't ask for an increase on fuel or materials.
You said Group 2 and 3?
We've got Group 2, Hope's got Group 3.
Okay.
And if we can get awarded the Group 3 with the Group 2, if we get our notice to proceed on Group 2, we'll waive our fuel adjustments. We'll have that conversation.
It's been bid.
It's already.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's
We're not
been
taking
bid
it
and
from
accepted, so we couldn't take this.
No, we're not gonna do that, but if that's the case, if Hope was to throw
No,
there.
Hope was to
Yeah,
throw.
not saying we're asking for that,
I got
I'm saying
you.
if Hope throw there, well then that's whenever, we say we waive it, but if we can't, we're gonna have to ask for it.
Yeah, the way that it had to work, we are not getting an increase in time beyond September, whatever, 25th or whatever. If we had to rebid this project out, then that would take what, another 3 weeks to get done. Is our pricing gonna be better or worse than what we do with the fuel increase? It's gonna be worse. So you can do, and I talked to State Audit about this, what do we do under this situation? They said that under emergency basis, that would fall under that provision of the statute. You have to contract with emergency basis. We did the same thing with MLK 5, 6, and 7, or 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever it was. Basically using that same process. Your new contract price would be the ones with the fuel adjustment, if they wanna do it.
Let me ask you this, did Soil and Water Conservation say that they would give some more funding for these projects? That probably will offset that fuel?
I don't know whether they will or won't. The reality is, even if they won't, we still need to go ahead and get these done if we want to get the projects done and get what we can out of the match. So it could be we end up losing money on, but again,
While
we
we on
still
that,
are having a good.
while you're on that question, I would like for Mr. Ford.
Yeah.
This increase you asked for, what's it? What's it for? The increase?
The increase that I asked for was for the difference in the bid price in the original construction budget for the
That
project.
has nothing to do with the fuel. I know they're not gonna give a fuel cost, but I'm saying, is there any money in there that once they give us a fuel or fuel rate of what they want, is there any money left in, I guess is what I'm asking.
Yes.
Okay. All right, JKS, the same question for you. Where's
There
your
was no
money?
fuel adjustment in there.
I understand it's not, but I mean, did you ask for more than what the project casing?
No, it was,
Okay, so what you asked for is 286 is
Between what we had in there originally and what would be the bid cost.
From now on, man, let them conversations come inside the door, 'cause he got his own camera, and I got to go back and review this. I can't be trying to figure out what nobody's saying way back there. Everybody need to come inside.
Yeah, I asked them. Trying to get answers. Too, I'm like you, it's hard for me to cipher and get it all together. Okay. So I guess once you get yours signed, then for the increase, we do it there, and then yours will come behind his.
Yes.
Is what they're saying. And the completion date on all of them but one is gonna be 11/17/22 in South Palestine.
No,
it'll be
group
9/25.
two will be, the 7 sites in there, which is Cemetery Road 10,
Right.
12,
Cemetery 10, 12, Churchill 1,
Churchill,
84-3, and 84-2.
yes. And then South Palestine, that is, their deadline dates are September 25th.
Yeah, 9/25, okay. So Jason, you heard that? That's the group, y'all got y'all's completion date, if it is award, and takes off is 9/25. Huh?
That's group 2 or group 4?
Group
Group 2.
Okay.
They've got in the contract, they've got 100 calendar days in there.
All right, Mr. Dawes, I have a question on that right quick. If something happens that they don't meet their deadline, because I know this has been 2 years out on deadline been moved, the money, who's gonna eat the cost of these projects, possibly, because I know there's, a good bit of money gonna be lost. Who's gonna have to eat the cost on these projects if they don't get completed these days? Well, you got federal funding giving 80% of it, and you got so many projects. So and I'm just the question is out there because it's been extension after extension after extension after extension, and it has not been any progress. So if you here it is again, we 2 years out on the extension. Now we're down to a couple of months. If something happens, who's gonna eat that total cost for these projects if the engineers drop their ball, the contractors drop their ball? Who's gonna be responsible for it? Or how can the county protect themselves from being responsible for it?
I know who ain't gonna be responsible.
That's what
And
I'm
I mean,
saying.
that's the reason I was telling Jason this is his on group 2, and I think they're ready to go to work on group 2 other than the fuel adjustment, is that correct?
Yeah.
And I mean, that's what I say. I mean, I think all the right way easement's been took care of,
If you
and
turn.
we're ready to go.
And if JK&S cooperates,
Okay.
as Mike said to me.
This is the thing. They can do their work. Okay, if JKS, if everybody's on board, what I'm saying, if either one of them, so I'm not pointing the finger at JKS, I'm not pointing the finger at the contract. What's gonna happen if somebody drops the ball? Who's gonna eat that? And you started on these projects, who's gonna eat that money? Because the project has to be complete and somebody has to be paid. Yeah, is there any kind of way you can deal with wrong or what?
Whoever's responsible, and it'll be a blame game. I mean, not saying it's whoever's fault, but Kenny will say it's JKS.
I mean, by the time, both the group 2 and group 3 have been awarded, and the next step would be resolving the fuel adjustment would be a notice to proceed. And from that notice to proceed, in the contract, there is a contract time in there of 100 days. That would fall, if the notice to proceed is issued 100 days out, the contractor would finish the project. On group 3, I think it's a 60-day calendar day project. So whenever you issue the notice to proceed there, they've got 60 days on group 3.
All right, well, that's clear too. What's gonna happen if y'all don't present y'all notice to proceed in time to get them time?
I think what they're waiting on is
Approval of
the
the contract
cost,
today.
approval of, and the cost increase of the fuel.
But
Is that what you're waiting on?
Yes, I mean, we're, at this point, we're looking for advisement on the cost.
We don't have a
of the fuel
contract
adjustment.
yet, because they want.
And they can't go ahead until the fuel cost, I guess, is agreed on by the board.
Okay.
That's
Do they have
who's
a fuel cost?
I'd
Say it again?
You just email me his, and I got canvas.
Also, Robert, before you leave, while they work that out, I did find Because Mississippi had two of Mason Adams up here. and
One of them was
Charlie.
mine, I was just letting her
Okay,
turn
and
one.
one of them was Charlie Campbell,
Yeah,
his resignation, so do we need to accept it?
We've already.
correct, yeah, I had,
Already
Yeah,
accepted?
they'll his resignation letter, have they emailed his resignation?
Here you go.
I will, we got one there
Sit right
too.
there.
I got it. Yeah.
We also need a motion on the adding the other site. The
Correct.
Heights site, we need a motion on that,
Yes,
so you can sign.
okay.
Yeah.
So take a motion on adding the Lincoln Heights site to the EWP project
Is it filled out?
and add the paperwork.
Who's going to fill that out?
I seen it, I emailed it, and I can do it.
He's gonna take this site, he said he'll look at it, and then I guess get it back to the board before the next meeting to get signed. Okay.
Like I said, this is my.
It's due by June the 10th, right?
It's due by June the 10th, so you ain't gonna make it to the next meeting.
I'm just getting this today, so.
This ain't gonna work.
Somebody's got to fill that out.
I get it, just get it approved, just get it filled out, and send it over.
He said just approve it, he'll get it filled out, get it sent in.
Yeah, by June 10th.
That's not.
He said get it approved, add the site, they will have it signed and back in by the 10th.
That you can, as possible, or,
Yeah, we'll take care of it. I just need to, when I send it in, the board president ready to sign it and send it back to me, and I'll send it over. If I had known that needed to be done before this, it would have been done already.
okay?
Hey, tell him he needs to go out there.
Yeah, but nobody told me I was pumping. I was getting it as a pre-award. That's all I know is a pre-award. Nobody told me I had to do anything with it. If I known I had to do something with it, I would have got it taken care of before now.
Yeah. Well, there's a miscommunication, we'll try to get that going, but we got a motion, I need a motion to, add that site, and IMS will, we put them in a dilemma right now, hopefully we won't have no more, but he said he will take care by the 10th. And I get a motion to add it to him. It's been moved by Supervisor Hutchins,
Call
and
that site out for me, please.
it's Lincoln Heights.
Okay. All right. Okay, thank you. I didn't know.
It's been motioned by, Supervisor Hutchins, and can I get a second? Second by Supervisor Wilson. Discussion? All in favor? Motion carried unanimous. All right.
That's all I had. Like I said, it still need to clear up some of this EWPs, I guess is what we gotta do, but that's what I had.
Okay.
Robbie, South Wind Road, seems to be some problems on the shoulder, especially going out on the right, like big drops in a couple areas.
All right, shoulder needs to be pulled, roll back.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good morning, board.
Right.
I'll just give a couple of updates and one request. Striping on the project, SAP 018 and the whole M. The contractor has completed all the work related to that project. So we'll do our final measurements and then request a final inspection from state aid. Once that data is set, I'll let everybody know that as of right now, the work is complete.
Yeah.
And that's for Pine Ridge, Foster Mound, and Steam Plant Road.
Yeah. And I was gonna ask on that inspection, on that, 'cause I know they just did it last week, but I do see some of the reflectors that already came up. Would there be
Anything like that would be included in the punch list item.
been a process for them to go back and inspect? Okay, right.
As far as Burke Road is concerned, we've submitted the preliminary plans to state aid for review. We've also submitted the required documents to the Department of Archives and History, as well as the Wildlife and Fisheries for their review. And I'll talk to Mr. Dollar about some things that need to be taking place on the county part for that project.
And what he's talking about, we gotta have some kind of access to get those people in and out. There's one way in and one way out. And that's what I told him. I thought about it and to look at it, you know, if we could put some kind of low water crossing or something in there, and I'll have to get with somebody, see if I can find a temporary low water crossing or something to get those residents in and out. But that's what I was thinking, that's what I asked him, and he said, you know, it would probably work, but we'll have to get together more on it, but that was my idea, trying to get them in and out and put them in some kind of low water crossing.
Oh, Matt's gonna work?
I don't know, if you have a heavy rain, the mat's gone, they ain't gonna stay out.
How long is the project gonna take?
We haven't set a schedule date for it yet. I just know that's something that needs to be in place before we have to get to construction. I want to go ahead and get it ahead of schedule so it can already be in place once we have to go to construction. So we know pretty much where the bridge is going to be, the size of it. So let's go ahead and do the detour now. Plus the road will close anyway.
Yeah. I got a 92-foot bridge that Wilson County stole from me that, we could go get it and bring it back. And it literally stole it, but they said they didn't know it wasn't there, or that guy when he sold it to them. Well, that's a heck of a
We're
bridge.
gonna have to have something, so I don't know, that's what I say, I was gonna talk to them.
Maybe you could lease it from the office, we'd have to go get it, but it's 92 foot long. It didn't hold my rig up.
Last thing is EWP Group 4. Last board meeting I asked about to getting the revised notice of award signed by the board. I'm asking that request be revisited again. We have a revised notice of award for the EWP project. We've submitted a time extension as well as a cost increase for that project in the amount of $154,300. I'm asking again to allow the board president to sign the revised notice of award so we can move forward with that project.
That was for the,
EWP Group 4 project.
how much was it?
It was $154,300, and I'm pretty sure that the match that NRCS added on to it, which made it to 160 something, 169.
Go ahead.
Second.
It's been moved by Supervisor Grant, second by Supervisor Hutchins. Any discussion? There none. I get a vote. All in favor say aye. Make sure that's saying right, motion carries now.
All right, so once I get that document back, I'll forward it to NRCS. Also send over the revised plat and legal description to you on Tuesday.
They said that they're gonna sign both sides. One person's in Cleveland and one person's in Illinois. They both indicated they would sign.
Okay.
So we've been calling them every day.
All right, and so I talked with Mike from Camo, and I explained that we only had those two left, and he said they will move forward with getting their contract and performance bond and everything in place so we can go and get that project started.
Yeah, I hope to have it next day or so.
Okay, that'd be great. All right.
But once we get it, and you got the NRCS approval, go ahead and issue and get it going.
Yeah, I mean, once I get your information, I get their information back in, get the contract signed, get the board president to sign it, we can do a notice to, a pre-construction meeting, get that project ready for construction as well.
Yeah, go ahead and get down, guys.
Yep. Are there any questions from you, from the board? All right, if not.
George gave me the percentage of city and county roads on Morgantown Road. I'm gonna take that and send it to me maybe Friday or this morning, either way. I'm going to send that over to the city with a request. The city needs to indicate that they would go in with us with Morgantown Road based on that percentage. Now, I've not had a chance to read it, to look what.
I can tell you the information you want me to tell you right now.
Sure.
The project is only about a mile, 0.979, and it goes from the state maintenance sign to Red Loop Road. Like I said, it's about 0.979. Based on our research, the portion that's within the city is from that state maintenance sign. We're going from west east, from the state maintenance sign to Oakland Drive, and that's about 0.426 miles. So you're looking at a percentage of 43.5 for the city and 56.5 for the county as it relates to the percentage of the project. 43.5 for the
50 what?
43.5 for the city, 56.5 for the county, and that's just for that project.
So I'm gonna do a letter and send it over to the city.
You gonna look at the Kelly Jenn's Road today?
I will,
Okay.
and I'll do the same
I
thing I
don't know
did
if I'll
last
see
time.
you out there or not, I'm gonna ride out there, just take a look, but,
Are there any more questions from anyone here?
Any more questions for engineer?
Good.
All right, thank you.
I appreciate you all's time as always.
Thanks.
Let's see, I've only got one thing for the board. I've got, SAP 017M, Majorca Road and, River Terminal Road. Wanted to ask to, for permission to advertise that. We've gotten clearance on environmental and, they're ready to advertise that project.
That's been a project going on about 3 years now.
It's a drainage project.
It's a drainage project where it turns to go up to Bondrell, to our maintenance shop, right there on that corner where, I think Billy Ray Farmer's got an electrical shop right there, whatever, that drainage, the water comes down, jumps that road and floods the road, you know, it puts all the gravel and all, and that's to redo that drainage project. It's been an ongoing project for about 3 years now.
You heard the request, engineer, can I get a motion? Motion by Supervisor Gray, second by Supervisor Wilson. Any discussion? None. Call for a vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried now.
And that's all I have for now. Unless
I have one question. Where we at on State Park Road?
I don't have the exact numbers on where they're at. I think Jim had sent an email to update.
I seen the
this
email.
month and everything.
So where we progress, are we still working every day?
Yes, they have been working.
Have been working. Do you have any estimate time, because I'm getting an influx of calls at this moment. Do we have any estimated time of completion?
I think at this time the process, I'll have to check with Jim to make sure.
And if you would, check with him and give me a call, please.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Do that.
I mean, I need that because, you know, I'm getting calls every day about when they can finish, and I do need to be able to get them consistent, some kind of answer for. All right, I appreciate it. Thank you, Grant.
All right.
What about 2 and 3?
What do we need to do with that? I mean, at this point, I'm kind of asking for advisement on what we need to go. I know I've got the fuel adjustment on group 3. I can go back, I need to go back in and I can calculate fuel adjustment on there. I do need, and I'll get with Blaze to break out his material cost and his fuel adjustment on that. And then,
Well, if the board wants to go forward on those projects, you need to go ahead and adopt the contracts based on the fuel adjustment on the emergency purchase statute so they can get turned loose and do the project.
That's your recommendation?
That is definitely my recommendation.
So moved.
There's been moved by Gray to adopt that, second by Supervisor Custer. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried unanimously.
So you got that email?
I got that. We'll recalculate the fuel adjustment and we'll get back with you on that and then issue from there. Notice proceed.
My last question is Oak Ridge. What are we gonna do with that? Because if we don't fix what we got, it's gonna blow that whole deal out. They just did. So, I mean, we wasted that money if we don't fix this project. So we need to get something. So what do we need to do?
I'm gonna have to get back with y'all. We're gonna have to go back out there and with that culvert coming out of there, it just doubled the size of that project down there. I mean, we'll have to survey it and.
So do I need to get with Mike Green and him? I mean, cause it's been approved and it was in there, but I need to get with Mike Green and tell him it fell through the cracks. We need to go back, relook at it, that we need to set up a
We'll have
time.
to survey that and get a cost, on what it takes to replace that big culvert.
Well, like I said, the county's gonna buy it. I mean, NRCS doesn't buy the culvert, so we got to buy the culvert.
Mhm.
So I mean, I can check on the cost of the culvert.
Yeah.
If that's what we're waiting on.
I mean, you got a lot of dirt that has to come out of there, and you gotta lay back the slope on the other side. I believe we can use that, use the end treatment on that to, it just, we gotta go back out there and resurvey it and design replacing that culvert.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to the office, shoot an email to you.
And Mike Green?
Mike Green.
Make sure I'm included.
Him, Camo, and set up a meeting. time to show up out there.
Did you get this? Okay, Grant, before you leave,
Yes.
we have a payment on here. Jim sent $17,437. Dealing with, Robbins Lake.
Yeah, that job's
Yeah, I think that's right away. It takes no action. Did the right away on Robbins Lake for the project there.
So.
Say it again, I didn't hear, I was looking at something else.
He's got I think he's got, is that the document?
Yeah.
Okay, there's a $17,000 invoice for right away survey where we laid out that we got the right away and I think turn the right away into Scott to get an easement for the project.
Hey, y'all, Mr. Attorney Chief, isn't it?
He's saying that $17,000 on that Robbins Lake is what was turned into you for us to get the right of way and all.
Yeah, I already told Hayden that we didn't approve that. I
Okay.
said, okay. We approved the other things on there, but we didn't approve Robbins Lake.
Okay.
Yeah, that is, Scott's been talking to, I think, Hayden about it.
I just wanted to know.
All right.
But he knows.
Was there anything else?
I want to ask about that, Scott, but that is finished and complete, the punch list is done and over.
Yeah, there's 2 invoices also included.
On Hutchins Landing,
Yes.
That Jim sent us.
that job is finished, complete, the punch list is done, and it's been,
Those are finals, they're finals, yes. They're, I think that is retainage.
yeah, that's what I say, it's finished.
Yeah, 11 final payment estimate for work completed.
Yeah, that's just, that's the final closeout on.
Yes, ma'am, that was the contractor,
Just needs to be documented.
yeah.
Yes.
Is that for the board? Is that the increase as well for the engineering?
That's the thing, it's the interest of George.
Is he gone? George gone?
Yeah, I think he's
Yeah, I
gone.
think he,
Yeah, she can stay.
His increase was approved and all those, Scott, if that's what you're asking, it just needs to be
Is there
signed.
an increase amount?
is Kevin,
That's
is
the
Kevin
154
Christian?
that we just talked about.
That's the one we just talked about?
Yes.
Okay, go on.
Yeah, 154, but with the match, it's like 165.
It was one L.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
it.
with this increase, we got to go there. Okay. We're gonna skip one part of what we did last report. Before we come to our table, we're gonna skip that part and go ahead and deal with y'all. And I appreciate y'all being, but we got one more person there. We're gonna, before we come and do our table, we're gonna skip that. And I realize y'all been sitting there, so we're gonna skip one part of our meetings to get y'all in, because we want you there. We now haven't forgot you, I promise you that. All right?
Yeah,
You got
yeah.
all yours in order.
Yeah, mine.
All right, just get Nick, send everybody emails.
All right,
Thank you.
Hey, look y'all, if there are delays, anything else, make sure Robbie and me and Angie were copied on the correspondence, okay?
and probably need a copy supervisor, so we can be on top of this for sure.
And I'm gonna set that
Anyway,
meeting
one
up.
of them copy.
Just keep Robbie and myself in the loop as well as the super, that way we know if there's delays or whatever, we wanna know who's.
Who's responsible for the
We can
delay?
have our bonds back later today. Can we get a notice to proceed?
Yeah.
And a new contract?
Yeah, we told him to issue notice, everything, he's
Yeah,
gonna
I
get
need to check the.
he's gonna get that
field
issue
adjustment
straight.
on it. I need to, review right now.
All right, I'm gonna get it all. Where you go?
Yeah.
All right, anyone departmental reports? All right, come on. Sheriff, yeah.
The sheriff wanted me to tell y'all that we're gonna be honoring y'all's request as far as getting in touch with the outside agencies that we're housing inmates over to jail. We're gonna give them a 10-day business location, notice to have their inmates removed from our jail until the conditions are improved.
Well, let me say this, because, I was a little disappointed in what the Democrat printed in the newspaper saying supervisors need to stop kicking the jail issue down the road. And as one supervisor, I don't know where they get the information from, but it's fake news. And I'm about to say that fake news. I don't read it, I don't buy it. And that's why they 3 days a week, and they continue to print fake news, they're gonna be 2 days a week. But for the city and say that we borrowed money from Morgantown and reparation, and that's not accurate because the people in the community is getting confused. The money that we got from Morgantown Road, we did not borrow it. We had a $2.4 million from the federal government, and the other money is part of our used tax money, and we just taking a loan out on some money that we got coming in already. So I would appreciate it if they get the news right, because it's confusing to the public. And I can't speak for Supervisor Millicent, I can only speak for myself. And I talk the same all the time, and I don't care how they take it, but to me it wasn't no hostile meeting, wasn't about bad. It's just the way I talk. So if they want to continue to be in this community, maybe they need to stop printing fake news. And another thing is, they say that we need to stop kicking the jail issue down the road. I think each and every one of these supervisors is on board to building a new jail. And all these people, they saying that the community is tired of it. We need to go and do what we got to do. Okay, when the school district got ready to build schools to educate the kids, the National Democrat didn't say nothing about that. But now we want to build jails and lock people up, then we need to stop kicking it down the road. They need to get their act together, if you ask me. I try to be calm when I talk about the Democrat because they're not fast. And they, like I say, they continue to print fake news, and I'm not tired of it. And dealing with the jail, we need to call a town hall meeting, get the citizens together, because building a jail is going to require their taxes to go up. So we need to call a town hall meeting, or we can put it on the ballot and let the citizens decide whether they want their taxes to go up or not. And, or we can go out there and find a private person that maybe they want to build a jail and see can we just, how much it costs for us to just lease that out from them. I'm not just speaking for Ricky Gray on this one. I think everybody on this board is on board. We've been talking among each other on ways to try to make it better over there. And for them to sit here and print fake news, it just pisses me off. I'm through with the Democrats.
Sheriff Patton certainly knows the board supports us 1,000%. You know, we know, we appreciate everything y'all are doing, and I know y'all are going to address the problems and y'all are taking care of it.
Yeah, I mean, the solution is easy, building a jail. The problem is funding it without raising taxes, and that's what we're, you know, not a little raise, I'm talking substantial raise, so that's what we're trying to do.
Let me say this too. I talked about this, we talked about this before. I mean, we can go backwards and forwards about this jail. Like Supervisor Gray, and I mentioned it before when the sheriff was here, call a town hall meeting. See what the people want, you know? Yeah, we need a new jail. You know, that could be just one opinion. That's an opinion there from one person. It's not an opinion from the community. So call a town hall meeting, what I asked them to do last time. Go ahead and call a town hall meeting. If they are for it, and their taxes want to be raised, I am for it. And I'm still for a new jail, no matter what, but you need to let the people know why we need this new jail, why their taxes being increased. You just can't throw that on them and not inform them
And he is
of
working
what's
on
going
that.
on. You know, they need to know. And then, like, if another suggestion, as he said, put it on the ballot. Let them vote for it. We did reparation that way.
Yeah.
Let's do the jail that way. And let the people have a say-so in this.
Right.
Because this is their tax dollars.
That's right.
We're spending. So, that's all I have to say. And I'm for a new jail, but we gotta find a way to build this jail. You know, we're looking at all kind of avenues. We're looking at grants. We're looking at everything we can do to build this new jail. So, that's all I have to say.
But she did, and I won't be long to say this, but we do support, you know, and it really sends the wrong message, because I mean, y'all coming here on a weekly basis, y'all know sometimes we even call special meetings, we do what we can to support the jail, every organization, not just the sheriff, every organization here, and for to think that we are at a difference of wanting what's best for the community, because regardless of what, it's our people who go to jail. It's people in our community that go to jail. Mostly, you hire other people, so it's not that the Board of Supervisors is not trying to provide a place over here, and to have reality check. There's been 2 boards before this board ever came in. It's been 2 to 3 boards back. This is not a current issue. So now you put it in our lap and it make it look like it's something that is new. But this has been going on for the last 15 years. So it's not just our fault. It's some of the things we inherited, but we are working together, trying to come up with a solution. And that's what the folks need to know, that we are working together, because that is a better quality of life. Even if they're bad or good, you know, we do have jail for bad people, but somebody still love them. And we want to provide the best way. And I think what he said, if we don't have, we should host town hall meetings, and we also should put it on the ballot and let the people decide also. So it's not that we are not working with you, and I know that. So you can move on.
I've also got
Yes, sir.
This is Sheriff Fanny.
Okay.
How y'all doing this morning?
All right. Go ahead, Sheriff.
I just want to set the record straight too, since all this going on this morning. Let me be clear with everybody. I know the supervisor supports the sheriff's office and every other department within Adams County. You all have done that from day one, and from also day one prior to me, Sheriff Brown, Sheriff Mayfield, everybody has made it known what needs to happen with the jail. I don't want any citizen confused that we're into it or anything of that nature, but the reality is, it's deteriorating, and you all know it, and I know it as well. So it's not an attack on the supervisor. I know every last one of y'all support correcting what needs to be corrected when it comes to the jail. But the thing is this, though. Everybody's suggesting town hall. I just want you all to know that I did get all that stuff approved, and they're waiting to set a date. So the town hall is in the works. The whole plan is in the works in order to what type of funding can be had. The biggest thing that I see that would definitely help is the fact that those pods out there, that's the biggest cost that it would be to the jail. We met with the contractor is looking at it, and they're gonna come back and tell us how much can actually be saved, so we can do this in a reasonable manner.
You need a hard to check.
In a reasonable manner. It can't be the thing to see if we can do it in a reasonable manner. So I don't want you all to think that we're attacking you all. I don't want the citizens to think that we're at odds. And I do appreciate you all taking a different perspective on this to where we're working together. So Scott, I hope you take a second and explain to them that email that I sent, so that people can see the things and the people that we're working with is not to attack the supervisors. We're trying to help. And this blueprint has already been fully laid out on how to do the assessment, to where we can see whether it be better to outsource
the housing and inmates, or would it be best, more feasible to build a jail? The funding portion is in there. It's so many things that are in this thing. So I'm in agreement with it. So I do want to say this when you talk about putting stuff on the ballot. Putting stuff on the ballot is fine. That's fine if that's what people need to do in order to see if the citizens want it. But regardless of whether the citizens want it or not, the liability is still going to be on the county whether citizens vote yea or nay or not on this because of the conditions of the jail. I don't have a problem putting anything on the ballot, and I'm going to go on record saying that. And I heard everybody talk about the schools and all this, but if you go back and look on record with the National Democrats, when we talked about the jail years ago, the only two elected officials that I remember going in the paper and saying that they support the schools over building a jail was myself and Ricky Gray. And if you go and look, I went on record just like you. I said, if it comes to building a jail versus building a school first, then I'm for building the schools. Now that time has passed, because that's been years ago. Now all I'm saying is I would appreciate help and the help that you all are willing to do in correcting the conditions over there. And we all know what needs to happen. And so I'm glad to hear what I heard this morning, and I'm glad that we got approval for this thing to come down so everybody can be fully educated on how we need to do what we need to do in this community in order to concern the jail. Because it doesn't just affect us, it doesn't just affect the board, it does affect everybody. And that's why I'm bringing some people in who don't have a dog in this fight to give us the proper channel on what's been analyzed and done on how to get this, how to take care of this matter. That's all I wanted to say on this. But again, I'm not against the board, and I don't feel like the board against me. I just know the urgency that this jail has created and has been creating over years. And it's pretty darn bad. And I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page moving forward on working out something that works for all of us. And when I say all of us, I don't mean just me, you, the board, because I don't have anything to gain by this. I mean the entire community, period.
All right, Sheriff, I'll say this. One of the things I said a long time ago, communication is the key. And it's not that we have a problem with that, but it seems when things are printed, it's like the board and the sheriff's department is at odds. But one of the things you said that about the cards and everything like that, if that kind of information could be printed that we are working together, we are coming up with solutions. So it's not that we at odds. We working together, you know we working together, but the public don't know we working together. We looking at other avenues to get that together. So, it's not a shout match, it's not a finger pointing at anybody. We are just trying to work together to make sure everybody's communicated the right news that, I think it was a court order way before we came. So we are looking at avenues to help you build it there, and I yield the floor.
Okay. I want to say this, and again, Sheriff, like I say, this is not against you. This is just this opinion against the Democrat. And like I say, that is one man's opinion. When you got an opinion, that's one man's opinion. It's not your opinion, that's the Democrat's opinion. And another thing is, you and I talked about this, the jail. And we was trying to find out some solutions or a way to, we could fund this jail. And you told me that if we started to raise the costs of the inmates, that can pay for a jail. And what did I tell you? I'm all for that. If we can raise this cost of these inmates, then let's do that. Redo the contract and get a different cost for the inmates. And if that'll pay for a jail, I'm on board.
All right. Go ahead.
What I want to say about this, Democrat is right about this thing being kicked down the road. It has been kicked down the road, as you said, probably for the last 16 years, probably. And I've said this before, and I know it hurts people's feelings when I say it, but every year is not an election year. We have been hired, elected to do the county's business. And we need to do the county's business. Part of the county's business is, if we need to build a jail and we have to raise taxes, that's what we have to do. Now, if you get put out of office because you voted to raise taxes to put a jail in that everybody knows we need, then maybe we weren't doing our jobs to start with. Because there's got to be more to that than just because you voted because we have to raise taxes to put a jail in. It is important that we get this done sooner or later.
So, my last comment is this. I kind of agree with what the sheriff and Supervisor Wilson said. At the end of the day, we're gonna have to do it anyway. But we'll know how the people in this community feel by doing what we gonna do. But we gotta do it anyway. My thing is this, if we keep on, we've been trying to find ways to move some of the people out of the jail into a better condition, because like Supervisor Wilson said, it probably won't be built for 5 years. We don't want to leave them over there for 5 years like that. So we've been talking among each other to try to find a better condition, a better place to move them. But my thing is this, when we do have a meeting or whatever the case may be, Sheriff, can you hear me?
Is he still there?
Well, when we do have a meeting or whatever, when we do have a meeting, what I'm gonna suggest is this. Once we get the cost, then we get with the county administrator or whoever that tell us how much millage we gonna have to go up and how much it's gonna cost each taxpayer. Then we'll have the information we need. If we can tell them, well, a new jail gonna cost you $10 more to your taxes, or $20 more to your taxes. When you give the people the right information and communicate with them, I think we ain't gonna have no problem with building a new jail. That's just my opinion.
And Supervisor Gray, I want to say this, and I appreciate you all having this conversation, but you know, this has been in place since running around, and none of most of you all wasn't here. And jail issues have been brought up since running, then went from Chuck, and now it's on me. I guess I'm just making a little more noise than normal, but the reality of it is my heart is heavy, because I know what's really at stake. And the reason why I said about that's fine if people want to put it on the ballot, regardless whether it's on the ballot or not, a lawsuit could hurt this whole community if it were to happen and be successful, because you'll be paying inmates, families, and all this, and then on top of that, you'll be still forced to build a new facility. And that's why I'm saying that I'm gonna send all of you all this email to look at that's been approved, that they're gonna pay for their own travel and everything to come help us with what needs to happen. As far as looking at the millage and all that stuff, under the previous boards before Supervisor Wilson and Supervisor Gray came on board and others, and Supervisor Gaines, they already looked at the millage. We have been to this point and this door several times over the last 2 years prior to you all, and all fairness to you all, prior to you all, that has been looked at. And I agree, it does need to be looked at again, but I just want you all to understand this, that it's been here before, but at this point, it's a lot more concerning because of things that we know are going on. So I appreciate you all taking the approach and saying that you're going to support it in every way, and I'm definitely going to keep working hard with you all and with my staff to make sure that we can be as cost effective as we can, so we can bring this to the system. But again, I'm gonna send you all that email. And I don't know if Scott had a chance to look at it or not, but it's very comprehensive on how we need to go about doing it and what these people are gonna bring to the table to help us, not to hurt us. And that's all I have to say. And I thank you all for saying what you all said this morning.
Thank you, Sheriff. All right, well, can we move forward?
Yeah. At the last board meeting, we had some changes in rate of pay, and I thought we'd got them all last time, but we've got 2 of them that slipped through the cracks. And the first one is going to be Rhonda Anderson. She'll be going to $13.23 an hour, and her yearly rate, her year total would be $27,518.40.
Has she, as a measure question, has she changed positions?
No, it's just like the other jailers. We were bringing them all up to the same rate.
I thought she was a cook.
She is a cook, but she's considered as a jailer also in a jail.
Go ahead.
All right,
And also, Earl Cornwell, the same thing, rate of pay is gonna be $13.23. The yearly rate is gonna be $27,518.40.
all right, well, I do have the paperwork on both of those, individuals. I need a motion.
So move.
It's been motioned by Supervisor Gray, second by, Supervisor Hutchins, in the discussion.
On the discussion I have, Mr. President, you know, I'm 100% trying to make sure that the people that work for this county are making a living wage, not a minimum wage. Thank you.
All right. All right. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries unanimous.
Okay. Y'all I just passed around an estimate from Watchman Security out of Jackson. These are security cameras that need to be placed in the jail. I sent emails out a couple of weeks back to all the supervisors, and also sat down and talked to West Middleton about it. And we would like to move forward with these cameras. We've got so many blind spots in the jail right now, and this right here is gonna help us out tremendously on the areas that we cannot see.
Is it within your budget?
Well, when we talked to the board, they told us to
Hey,
get.
so move, man, so move.
Second, we don't be in there anyway, gotta have them anyway.
So move.
I got a second.
Well, it's been motion, to get the security cameras for the inside of the jail. It's been motion by Supervisor Hutchins, and it's been motion by Supervisor Gray, second by Supervisor Hutchins, in discussion.
On the discussion I have, man, we try to keep trying to keep everybody safe. I know buying these additional cameras is, is not gonna break us because we do have money from the ARP fund. And when we doing our budget, we can just take that money out of there and just put it in there for that. Thank you.
All right. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries none. Okay?
The only other thing is this last thing, I just need to get the president to sign. This is the MDLC inmates that are in the jail. It just needs to be signed.
We gonna start signing these.
President.
We gonna start signing these. They gonna come to the county. They just go to the receipt book. Yeah. Yeah. Is that the way we get paid? Payment? Yeah. Yes.
All right. That means,
that's all I have.
All right. Any public comment? Public comment? All right, Scott, before we come to the table, we have had this family sitting there, before, can we go? Can I make a motion for a closed determination?
So move.
Second.
Moving second.
I would just have a question, can I request for executive section also? Or do I?
I mean, you might as well don't count.
Yeah, we might do it all one time.
Yeah, that's right.
We can do it one time, it's been, moved by Supervisor, Gray and second by Supervisor Wood for a closed determination. All in favor? Aye.